Shalom, 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 Israel. First off, giving all praises to the Most High, to His Son, Yahushua. We the Battle Axes of the Most High, coming to you with another Sabbath class breakdown. Shabbat shalom to brothers and sisters in class. Shabbat shalom to brothers and sisters that are watching online. Hope and pray that brothers and sisters had a great atonement. And we say this is after the atonement. Now going into what? The Feast of Tabernacles. I want to make sure that brothers and sisters stay in the spirit. The name of today's class is Tabernacles Etiquette. Tabernacles Etiquette. Okay, so you got break on. Like we said, we want to make sure that brothers and sisters, now that the Day of Atonement is over with, that brothers and sisters start preparing for the Feast of Tabernacles. So we want to make sure that we cover these things, make sure that brothers and sisters have a good understanding about what to do, how to celebrate these things, and the spirit that brothers and sisters need to be in while being out there in the wilderness. First precept we want to go to, let's go to the book of Sirach, chapter 19 and verse 19. Because a lot of times we always hear we cannot keep these laws in the land of our captivity. I mean, hey, our forefathers did it. Why shouldn't we? So, we want to go through the precepts. Do thus saith the Lord. Sirach chapter 19, verse 19. Can brothers and sisters hear okay? The book of Sirach chapter 19 and verse 19, read that out.
The book of Sirach chapter 19, verse 19. The knowledge of the commandments of the Lord is the doctrine of life.
So once we start to keep God's laws, statutes, and commandments, that's when we start to have our life. A lot of times brothers and sisters are spiritually dead out here. We have a life, but guess what? It's not the life that the Most High God wanted for us. The life that the Most High God wanted for us, so when we start to come into the life, is when we what? Start to keep the commandments of the Most High. A lot of times that's why they had these pictures out here calling us what? The walking dead. Read on out.
Come. And they that do, they that do things that please him.
Read that again, now.
And they that do things that please him.
The things that pleases the Most High is what? Us keeping his laws, statutes, and commandments. Read on out.
Come, shall receive the fruit of the tree of immortality.
Meaning what? Everlasting life. And that's something that all brothers and sisters need to be what? Shooting for. And a part of that is what? Within the Feast of Tabernacles, because that's one of the commandments of the Most High. Read on out.
Come, verse 20. The fear of the Lord is all wisdom.
Read it again.
The fear of the Lord is all wisdom.
So when you fear the Most High God, that's how you keep his commandments. Read on out.
In all wisdom is the performance of the law.
And this is what Christianity is not teaching our people. They're not teaching our people to do what? To perform the law. They teach our people just to have faith. No, you have to have faith with works. You have to have faith and keep the commandments of the Most High. And have faith in Yahushua. Like I said, it's a double-edged sword. It's two sides of the same coin. Read that again.
Come, the fear of the Lord is all wisdom. And in all wisdom is the performance of the law. And the knowledge of his omnipotency.
And the knowledge of his omnipotence. So this is the thing too, on how we receive the tree and the doctrine of life. A lot of times people are physically looking for these things, but we have to physically apply these things. And guess what? Tabernacles is a part of that. Man, we have a great time when we're out there at the Tabernacles, man, a great, great time. That's also for us to, guess what? Be more in tune with nature, be more in tune with the Most High. Guess what? Don't think that since we out there, we won't be what? Tried. We won't be tested. It's the same thing when we was out there in the wilderness during the time of Exodus. So remember, we always doing what? Practicing a righteous rehearsal. Always. That's something that we always just pull. This is a righteous rehearsal. So we know brothers and sisters be out of the spirit. Guess what? They be out of the spirit out there at the wilderness. So we're trying to make sure through the scriptures that these things don't happen. That brothers and sisters stay in the spirit, because guess what? We're going to be out there having a great time, but it's also work to be done, brothers and sisters. It's work to be done, because guess what? We don't have servants and handmaids right now. You know, all praises, we pray that day. So guess what? That work has to come from where? From us, until the Most High God bless us with those servants and handmaids. Let's go to the book of Judges chapter 5, verse 11.
The book of Judges, chapter 5, verse 11. They that are delivered from the noise of archers in the places of drawing water.
The noise of archers is making reference to what, brother Bilal?
Noise of archers.
What is an archer?
Someone who shoots arrows.
That shoots arrow. What's the similitude for an archer today?
Oh, weapons of missile.
Missiles, thermonuclear missiles. That's how we know that this is a future prophecy. Read it again.
Judges chapter 5, verse 11. They that are delivered from the noise of archers.
Because guess what? We weren't dealing with these. Joshua was doing what? We was commissioned to take down these nations, man. The Most High God was with us during these times, man. Dealing with the Canaanites, man. We've taken these nations down when we were in the spirit. Read on.
Come. In the places of drawing water.
It says, they that are delivered from the noise of archers. Because we have to think heavy on that. When you shoot an arrow, do you hear anything? That's one of the reasons why when I brought it up, Rambo used bow and arrows, because guess what? They would not give the place, the enemies, your location, basically, like when you fire a gun. So what is this arrow talking about? This arrow is talking about thermonuclear ballistic missiles. Read on out.
Come. In the places of drawing water.
In the places of servitude, this is another clue. The places of servitude, what's that precept, brother Joshua? Places of drawing water.
Yeah, I should have. We just went over this.
That's right. What you got, brother Renard?
Oh,
Look at it. Oh, well, brothers already said the precept. Oh, I'm gonna tell y'all better write them precepts next to it. Brothers on it, Twin and Renard. Let's get there right quick. So we don't have drawers of water, man. We our own drawers of water. You know, we don't have servants and handmaids. We got to be out there. Guess what? Making sure that the drinks on ice, cooking, preparing breakfast, having cleaning. That's right. You exactly right. Go ahead, Al. Read verse 21.
The book of Joshua, chapter 9, verse 21.
Break it out.
And the princes said unto them, let them live, but let them be hewers of wood.
Meaning the nations that we took down, these Canaanites, these African nations, Joshua said, let them live, but guess what? Let them be hewers of wood. Meaning what? Our servants. Come on in, huh? Read on.
oh,
And drawers of water.
And drawers of water, meaning what? To serve us. Because think about it, man. We didn't have to go to a faucet. Back in those times, they had to literally go to a well to draw that water out for the things that we needed. Read on out.
Come. And the drawers of water unto all the congregation.
Unto all our congregation. Who is that congregation? The congregation of Israel. Read on out.
As the princes had promised them. And Joshua called for them, and he spake unto them, saying, wherefore have ye beguiled us, saying, we are very far from you, when ye dwell among us? Now therefore ye are cursed, and there shall none of you be freed from being bondmen.
From being what?
From being bondmen.
Because that's the estate of the other nations. It's their job to be our bondmen. Read on out.
Come. And hewers of wood, and drawers of water.
Jump down to verse 27.
For the house of my God. Verse 27. And Joshua made them that day hewers of wood and drawers of water for the congregation, and for the altar of the Lord, even unto this day, in the place which he should choose.
So guess what? We have servants and handmaids, but guess what? We're not into that right now, man. So we have to literally put this work in on ourselves, man. Like I say, it's a heavy, heavy job. We want to have a good time, but it's also work that must be done. Let's go back to Judges chapter 5, verse 11. Oh, come on in. Read this again from the top, all right?
The book of Judges, chapter 5, verse 11. They that are delivered from the noise of archers, in the places of drawing water,
in the places of servitude. This is talking about right now. We don't see our brothers and sisters don't get it. That we're supposed to be rehearsing a righteous rehearsal in keeping tabernacles. This is how you get more and more understanding on what's going to happen. Lord's will, the Most High God, take us out and bring us into the wilderness. Remember, these things are like a rain. Read on up.
In the places of drawing water. There.
Read that again.
There.
Read it again. There. Over here in our captivity and places of drawing water. Because who are the drawers of water right now? Us. We're drawing water for Esau and the other nations. A lot of times, I ain't drawing no damn water. When you clock in that 9 to 5, that's not your job. When you paying taxes, that is drawing water. A lot of brothers and sisters don't even understand that, man. We are yet this day in our captivity to be subject to what? To payments. Meaning what? They see our money before we even see our money. That's captivity. I can't put it no plainer. That's servitude. That's drawers of wood and drawers of water. Read on up.
There shall they rehearse the righteous acts of the Lord, even the righteous acts towards the inhabitants of his villages in Israel.
Read on up.
Then shall the people of the Lord go down to the gates.
Then will we be able to be ready to, guess what? Be organized as a nation. This is what these things intend, man. This is very important that brothers and sisters practice this righteous rehearsal. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 16, verse 13, right quick. I say won't be a long class. We want to just cover some major points. Q&A concerning this topic, concerning things that brothers and sisters need to get in order. Questions pertaining to tabernacles and how to be out there at the tabernacles in the wilderness. You get there, read this, huh?
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 13, verse 16. And thou shalt gather all the spoil of it into the midst of the street thereof, and shall burn with fire the city.
16 to 13. 16 to 13.
You good. Deuteronomy chapter 16, verse 13. Thou shalt observe the Feast of Tabernacles 7 days. After that, thou hast gathered in thy corn and thy wine.
Because I have a question for brothers. What is another name for the tabernacles? Brothers should have this written down. Raise your hand. What is another name for the tabernacles? What you got, Abraham?
Feast of Days.
No. What you got, Ehud? Feast of Boots. You said Feast of Days. Where you get that from? Brothers don't be taking good notes, man. Feast of Weeks. He got even that wrong. Write it down. All you have to do is just write it down. I promise you, you'll have it. So we got Feast of Boots. What is another name for the tabernacles? Guess what? These will be trivia questions that we're going to ask brothers and sisters out there, man. What is another name for the tabernacles? I'm going to tell you. Brothers like Daoud, brothers like Brother Osher, brothers like Ehud, brothers like Ezekiel, Brother Fred. Brothers should have their hands up, man. Brothers should know these things, man. I'm going to tell you, man, they go a long way to show that, guess what? Brothers are not writing down what's being taught in class. Brothers should know that. What's another name for the Feast of Tabernacles, Brother Daoud? What's another name, man? What's another name, Ezekiel, while you getting ready?
Boots.
We just said boots.
Sukkot.
Now, we ain't dealing with no Sukkot. We dealing with thus said the scriptures. That's why it's pivotal, man. Pivotal, because we go over these things each and every year. Read verse 13, huh?
Verse 13, thou shalt observe the Feast of Tabernacles 7 days. After that, thou hast gathered in thy corn and thy wine.
Uh-huh.
And thou shalt rejoice in thy feast.
Read it again, huh?
And thou shalt rejoice in thy feast.
No, come out there with attitudes and be out of the spirit.
And thou shalt rejoice in thy feast.
That's one of the main things that we went into captivity for not rejoicing in the feast of the Lord. So brothers should be rejoicing and guess what? Putting in work for the tabernacles. Sisters should be rejoicing and putting in works for the tabernacles. Guess what? You don't think the captains don't want to sit back and have a good time? We barely even have enough time to even contend with our families while we out there. Because guess what? Brothers have to organize, have to liaison, make sure everything goes smoothly out there. Guess what? When we collectively do these things, everybody can have a good time. You're not just having one person doing everything and having brothers and sisters just sit back. No. Because guess what? We don't have what? Servants and handmaids. This is showing us that guess what? We respect, showing us how to respect these things when we actually do get servants and handmaids and really can kick back and enjoy ourselves. Read it again, huh?
And thou shalt rejoice in thy feast.
Uh-huh.
Thou and thy son.
Thou and thy son, having a good time with your children. You know, brothers that are married, having a good time with your wives, going, taking walks, having a good time with one another, man. That's what this is all about. Read on up.
And thy daughter, and thy manservant, and thy maidservant, and the Levite, the stranger, and the fatherless, and the widow that are within thy gate.
That are within thy gates. Read on up.
Verse 15. 7 days shalt thou keep a solemn feast unto the Lord thy God, in the place which the Lord shall choose, because the Lord thy God shall bless thee in all thy increase.
And that's what we want. We are celebrating the Feast of Tabernacles so that we may be blessed in our increase. We want more and more brothers and sisters to guess what? Be able to come into the congregation so that we may seal up what? The 144,000 and the 1/3 of the elect, man. We pray for that increase, man. We pray that the Most High God send us brothers that's willing to do the work, sending us righteous sisters that's willing to do the work, man. Read on up.
Come. God shall bless thee in all thy increase, and in all the works of thine hands. Therefore thou shalt surely rejoice.
Read that again, huh?
Come. And in all the works of thine hands. Therefore thou shalt surely rejoice.
Therefore thou shalt surely rejoice. So we're going to be out there having a good time, playing the music, drinking a little bit. Y'all know how I get down. Hey, it go without saying. Read on up.
Verse 16. 3 times in a year shall all thy males appear before the Lord thy God.
Read on.
In the place which he shall choose.
In the place which the Lord shall choose. Read on. Which is Jerusalem.
Right. Come. In the feast of unleavened bread. And in the feast of weeks.
Unleavened bread is what? Passover. Read on.
And in the feast of weeks.
The feast of weeks is what, Brother Abraham? Pentecost. Read on.
And in the feast of tabernacles.
And in the feast of tabernacles. Read on.
And they shall not appear before the Lord empty.
I'm glad that I stressed that word, man. I is in the spirit. Read that again, huh?
And thou shalt not appear before the Lord empty.
Thou shalt not, meaning bring something. You know, brothers drink. Hey, you don't want to be the one that's drinking up all the strong drink and not putting in on those things, man. Hey, like we say, all of us love to eat food. So like we say, that's what the feeds are for. So we're able to provide those things and have those things for what? For 4 days and 3 nights. Let's go to, because y'all still didn't get, what was the other name?
I did.
Yes. I was just going to say, so do we know now? What is the other name?
Feast and gathering.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, you know, you should get that. Don't make me throw a mic at you. What'd you say?
Shelter.
Is there a feast of
shelters, keep the boots, and keep the ingathering and that.
Where you get pizza shelters from?
For real.
I Googled it.
I'm talking about where did you get it from?
I guess with the
In the scripture.
I guess.
I'll find it.
Gotcha.
I'll find it.
What's it? Feast of Shelters. That may be like an acronym
Right,
that
we know
Google
boots.
put on there.
We know boots, right? Tents are going into shelter. But
You know it's gonna be all over you. You know what I want? Go ahead.
The book of Exodus, chapter 23 and verse 14. 3 times thou shalt keep a feast unto me in the year. Thou shalt keep the feast of unleavened bread. Thou shalt eat unleavened bread 7 days, as I commanded thee in the time appointed of the month of Abib. For in it thou camest out from Egypt, and none shall appear before me empty.
Bring it out.
In the feast of harvest, the first fruits of thy labors, which thou hast sown in the field, and the feast of ingathering.
And the Feast of Ingathering. Why is it called the Feast of Ingathering? Brothers got to know this history. Like we say, when these classes come up, brothers are doing classes over these particular high holy days, but we also have classes already online. So like we say, brothers and sisters are out of the spirit if y'all know that these high holy days are coming up and y'all just looking. And knowing damn well that we're going to ask questions to make sure that y'all understand what y'all doing. Understanding what thou readest, or y'all understanding what you got out.
It's I think like gathering the fruit or something like that. At the end of the year.
With to a degree, to a point.
you just saved yourself. End of the year.
Like I say, to a point. Read it again,
And the feast of ingathering, which is in the end of the year, when thou hast gathered in thy labors out of the field. You want to keep going?
Yeah, keep going.
3 times in the year, all thy males shall appear before the Lord God.
So what did we just read that? Brother Brother Daoud. What did we just read that? See if brothers is locked in. You ain't thinking about trying to get food after the Sabbath. All praise, Really, Deuteronomy said again? Where?
16:16.
16:16.
Okay, I'm gonna ask y'all another question. And I ain't gonna give you the clue, you should know it. What was they gathering in? What was they gathering
Or
in?
they in gathering.
What was they gathering in? Fruits and harvest, okay. What was they gathering? Y'all said fruits and harvest?
It rains.
Grain.
Yeah.
Y'all just read it. What they was gathering in it. Let's go back to Deuteronomy 16, see what they were gathering in it, man. Because there's a reason why they gathered these things in it, right? Think about what's the reason why they gathered these certain things in it.
The first fruit.
13, the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 16, verse 13. Thou shalt observe the feast of tabernacles 7 days after thou hast gathered in thy corn and thy wine.
Y'all see that? Why does it say gather in corn and wine? Let me see, because this is multiple questions. Why was this for? For tithing and offering for who? Okay, man, y'all don't give me the small now. So just give me the whole thing, right? So basically, they was in gathering for the corn and the wine because these things went into the storehouse for the Levites, right? Going into what we was reading yesterday about the chief things in life, right? Or the principal things in life in Sirach, right? These things will help take us along the way. Why do you think this was like corn and wine was like to in Egypt, right? Going back when they had famines and different stuff, that was a big thing, right? You short corn and oil, right? So when the Lord had us, this was part of the storehouse for the Levites. So the ingathering thing was a big thing for Israel, man. Go ahead, Doc.
Let's go back. Can we go back to Exodus 23 right quick? I want to ask a question. See if brothers know what this. Read 16.
Come, the book of Exodus, chapter 23, verse 16.
Uh-huh.
And the Feast of
The
Harvest.
Feast of Harvest is when?
First fruits.
First fruits, right? Read on.
The first fruits of thy labor,
Uh-huh.
which thou hast sown in the field.
Which thou hast sown in the field, read.
And the Feast of Ingathering,
And the Feast of Ingathering, read.
which is in the end of the year.
What's my question?
What is it in gathering?
No, we just talked about it. We just talked about it gathering. What was you gonna say?
What's the end of the year?
Why is it saying that it's in the end of the year?
That's the third time that everybody must come back to Israel. The three quarters.
Kind of, sort of. Why is it saying the end of the year? Think about it. It told us 3 times in the year. It gave us what? It gave us Passover, first fruits, and then it gave us tabernacle. And then it said the end of the year.
Because it's about to go into the day of winter.
We're finna go into winter, meaning that what? We don't break, we got to get all the harvest out because now the land is not finna produce the corn and the harvest like it was. The land is finna go like dead now, right? This is going into the end of the what? Year to bring in crops. The harvest, right? That's why this thing is so important when you see the Lord how he works, man. Right? He calls the beginning of the year Passover, and then he calls it the end of the year, like around Tabernacles right now. Because think about it. You know, we in Texas. We still get 90 degrees, but everywhere else, you got the leaves coming off the trees. You got to get real cold, right? Because it's harder. And Jerubbaal, you know, can give a test of this because he worked in the farm, you know, before out there in Arkansas. So you know that the land is not as producing as much, or even could produce in the winter times, right? This is why he's calling it the end of the year to produce or bring in your crops, right? Because most of everything can't grow in the winter. You got some, it's some things that can grow in the winter, right? But winter wheat, but the crops and what we needed, like you said, for the Levites, that was going into the end of the year for us to bring in crops. So I just wanted to make sure y'all can see that. Because the people see that at the end of the year, what does that mean?
Right? And I don't want brothers and sisters not to think that, not to bring, like when they was bringing in their harvest, they didn't just bring other things. Yes, they brought in the tithings of their crops, period. But the corn, right, and the wine was a big thing, right? Because what do we use wine for? What did the Levites use wine for?
Drink offerings.
Drink offerings, right? Right? And not just drink offerings, what was they for feast days, right? Right? And also they use corn for what? To make oil, right? So when you had to do offerings, what did you have to use? When you had to do offerings, you used the oil to cook or burn the offerings, right? So these things was a heavy deal, man. Go ahead.
Let's go to Leviticus chapter 23. I want to make sure that brothers and sisters should be periodically reading these things, man. Leviticus chapter 23 and start at verse 34. Yeah. So,
The book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 34. Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, the 15th day of this 7th month shall be the Feast of Tabernacles for 7 days unto the Lord. Read on. On the first day shall be an holy convocation.
So your question earlier, Brother Bilal, on the first day shall be an holy convocation. Read it again from the top.
On the first day shall be an holy convocation.
Read on.
Ye shall do no servile work therein.
So if brothers and sisters can get that day off, please get that day off. Like we always tell brothers and sisters, make sure you schedule your PTO or your time off according to what? God's high holy days. So that you're able to observe these things. Read on up.
Verse 36. 7 days ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord.
So what is that offering that we make now? Our bodies. Spiritual sacrifices. Because guess what? Like we keep homing in the point, we're going to have to put in work. We're going to have to sacrifice our body to put in work at the tabernacles for the days that we'll be out there. This is spiritual sacrifices. Read on up.
Come. On the 8th day shall be an holy convocation.
So that's why we see a lot of things say 7 days, but then it said 8 days. So we got a first day holy convocation, and then we have a what? Read it again, up.
On the 8th day shall be an holy convocation.
And on the 8th day, that's why we was covering that for brothers and sisters before we started the class. And to brothers and sisters that are online. Read on out.
Unto you, and ye shall observe, and ye shall offer an offering made by fire to the Lord.
Uh-huh.
It is a solemn assembly.
It is a solemn assembly, meaning this is only for us. Guess what? This is exclusive until what? We get to Isaiah chapter 66, verse 24. Then guess what? They all gonna have to come and worship the Most High God at the tabernacles, man. We're gonna cover that. Read on out.
And ye shall do no servile work therein.
So if you can get those days off, please get those days off. Read on.
Verse 37. These are the feasts of the Lord, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations.
These are holy gatherings. Read on out.
To offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord.
Uh-huh.
A burnt offering, and a meat offering, a sacrifice, a drink offering, everything upon his day.
Read on.
Besides the Sabbaths of the Lord, and besides your gifts, and beside all your vows, and beside all your freewill offerings, which ye give unto the Lord.
Read on.
Also on the 15th day of the 7th month, when ye have gathered in the fruit of the land,
Like brothers was just covering. Read on out.
ye shall keep a feast unto the Lord 7 days. On the first day shall be a Sabbath, and on the 8th day shall be a Sabbath.
Read on.
And ye shall take you on the first day the boughs of goodly trees.
The bowls of what?
Goodly trees.
Because guess what? We didn't have what we have now at Walmart. You go and get an instant pop-up tent. No, we have to literally go and build our own tents, man. That's why it's telling you we have to take up the goodly boughs. There were certain trees that, guess what, the Most High God ordained us to help provide us for the tabernacles, man. Read on out.
Come, branches of palm trees, and the boughs of fig trees.
So to add, what else do we have to ingather? Wood, the trees, to be able to build our what? Tabernacles. So we had the what? Offerings, and then we also had the what? Trees and bowls of goodly trees to build the tabernacles. Do brothers understand that? For brothers that don't have a good memory, write it down. Because y'all, brothers and sisters, gonna have these questions. How y'all gonna give them the answers if y'all can't remember it or don't make a mental note? Read on out.
Come, and the boughs of fig trees, and willows of the brook.
So he's telling you the types of trees. Read on out.
And ye shall rejoice before the Lord your God 7 days.
So we want brothers and sisters to be rejoicing those 4 days and 3 nights that we out there. Lord's will. We pray that the Most High God allow us to keep more and more of these days. We used to do it for a weekend. Now we up in a day. We had brothers a couple years ago do it for like 5 days. Before that, maybe just a little more than that. So we always try to up the ante. Lord's will, this is the last tabernacle. If not, guess what? We'll try to up it 5 days. You know, that's always, guess what? We try to do it bigger. We try to do it better. That's what practicing a righteous rehearsal is all about, man. Read on.
Come. Verse 41. And ye shall keep it a feast unto the Lord 7 days in the year.
Read on.
It shall be a statute forever.
For a little while.
Forever.
Read on.
In your generations. Ye shall celebrate it in the 7th month.
And that's the month that we in right now, brothers and sisters. Read on.
Come. Ye shall dwell in booths 7 days. All that are Israelites born shall dwell in booths.
So now brothers understand why we call it what? The Feast of Booths. Then we call it the what? The Feast of Ingathering. Then we call it what? The Feast of Tabernacles. You brothers understand that?
Read verse 42 again.
Verse 42. Ye shall dwell in booths 7 days.
Right?
All that are Israelites born.
Now all this heathens.
All that are Israelites born.
This is like I say, this is an exclusive thing, man. Right? Then we must, we must do it, right? I know I could probably go into a little bit more, but Israelites, we must. He said all this Israelites born. If you was born an Israelite, hey, you better damn well do it, right? So all those Israelites born, read.
Come, all that are Israelites born shall dwell in booths.
Yeah, you must dwell in booths during this time?
That's right.
Go ahead.
Let's see why. Keep reading.
Con, verse 43, that your generations may know that I made the children of Israel to dwell in booths when I brought them out of the land of Egypt. I am the Lord your God.
So the Most High God gives us an explanation on why he has us dwelling in booths. Because guess what? That's the same thing that we did when we came out of the bondage of Egypt. You brothers and sisters understand that. And these are the things that, guess what, we teach our children. And we teach them that, guess what, yes, we going to celebrate the Feast of Tabernacles. They would know it as just going camping. But you have to instill that, no, this is the Feast of Tabernacles. We gonna have way funner than we do out there at just regular old camping trips, man. Because guess what? We got the Most High dwelling among us, man. That's the thing. So we want to have a good time when we out there, man. Brothers and sisters need to be in the spirit. Read on up.
Verse 44, and Moses declared unto the children of Israel the feast of the Lord.
Because guess what? Our forefathers, they continued these things as well. Give me 2 Chronicles chapter 8 and verse 12.
Can I touch on something before you go there?
Yeah, go ahead.
Before we go there, y'all stay at Leviticus 23, verse 43. I want to see if brothers catch this too. Leviticus 23 and verse 43.
Come, the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 43. That your generations may know that I made the children of Israel to dwell in booths.
What does that mean?
We was playing man dwelling in tents.
Well, you see that? The Lord literally did that.
That's right.
Let's get that precept, man. Go to Genesis 25. The Lord said, I literally made y'all this way. Right? So that's why tabernacles is so heavy. Go to Genesis 25. Just give me 27.
The book of Genesis, chapter 25, verse 27. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter.
Because we know Esau is a cunning hunter, man. He go out to the woods and all the animals kill his ass, right? Read.
A man of the field.
He was a man of the field. Read.
And Jacob was a plain man.
Doing what?
Dwelling in tents.
The Lord literally made us this way, man. The Lord literally made us a plain man dwelling in tents, man. We kick back, man.
That's right.
Right? Go ahead.
Let me get one more, man, to show you that we've been doing this, man. This is exactly who we are. Let's go to Numbers chapter 1. We'll read down a little bit. Let's start at 50, man. So you know, we were always men of tents outside, plain men, right? Start at 50.
The book of Numbers, chapter 1, verse 50.
Bring it up.
But thou shalt appoint the Levites over the tabernacle of testimony, and over all the vessels thereof, and over all the things. It's like, and over all things that belong to it. They shall bear the tabernacle, and all the vessels thereof, and they shall minister unto it, and shall encamp round about the tabernacle.
Read on.
Verse 51, and when the tabernacle setteth forward, the Levites shall take it down. And when the tabernacle is to be pitched, the Levites shall set it up. And the stranger that cometh nigh shall be put to death.
52 is really the point. Read.
Verse 52, and the children of Israel shall pitch their tents.
Shall do what?
Shall pitch their tents.
And the children of Israel shall pitch their tents. Read.
Every man by his own camp.
By his own camp. Read.
And every man by his own standard.
By his own standard. Showing you that, guess what? Some brothers and families' tents were what? Maybe bigger, right? They might have used more wood. They might have used less wood, right? By their own standard, man. It's kind of like bringing it up to today. You got brothers out there with the 10-man tents, right? You got brothers out there with the crawl-in tents. I know he's at the crawl-in tent when I first started, right? And the crawl-in like we was in the army, right? But it was our own standard. It was pitching tents by your standard, by the way that you wanted to pitch your tent. But we were acquainted. We were commanded to do this thing. Read that again, 52.
Come, and the children of Israel shall pitch their tents, every man by his own camp, and every man by his own standard throughout their host.
I'm gonna tell you that's a heavy precept, man, because it lines up with what we are doing today, man. Every man by his own camp, man. Right? We have different camps out there. You got brothers that went to Tabernacles like what last week before. You got some brothers out there Tabernacles right now, right? With every man of his own camp and of his own standard, man. This is who we were. Go ahead. Yeah, you can keep reading that. Yeah, keep reading.
Verse 53. But the Levites shall pitch round about the tabernacle of testimony, that there be no wrath upon the congregation of the children of Israel.
That there be no what?
That there be no wrath upon the congregation of the children of Israel.
And that's something that we have to do out there as well too, man. Like I said, we want to be able to just chill, kick back, have a great time in the wilderness, man. But we got to make sure that we are appointed and appoint brothers as well as ourselves to be over things, to make sure there's no wrath, man. We got to make sure walking around, make sure brothers and sisters in the spirit, man. Sometimes y'all don't even understand how you doing, brother, how you doing, sister. That conversation, see if your ass in the spirit or not. What's going on, right? We can tell, man. Come on, we can tell by countenances, man, by certain answers or questions, right? But you didn't answer that question that way last week. What's going on, right? But we have to make sure that there's no wrath among the children, especially when we out there in the wilderness, man. Because that's what we were doing. We were doing what back then? And what was our forefathers doing back then? Murmuring and complaining. Wrath. Somebody speak up something. Oh, man, we out here, man, getting beat up. Here go the next person. Yeah, man, I'm ready to go leave this thing. I ain't got it. This thing it always trickles down to that, man.
Let's go to the book of Exodus, chapter 33. But I want to get my book to kind of show. Because even like what Ox is going into, like I said, that thing is very heavy because we had the tabernacle with the altar, with the sanctuary. We had those things set up. Then we had what? Our tents pitched in order. 3 tribes on east, 3 tribes on west, 3 tribes on the south, 3 tribes on the north. That thing was in order. And guess what? That's the order that we're trying to get back to, man. That is the order. That's always the standard. Let's go to the book of Exodus, chapter 33 and verse 5.
The book of Exodus, chapter 33, verse 5. For the Lord had said unto Moses, saying to the children of Israel, you are a stiff-necked people.
Because guess what? You have brothers and sisters that don't want to participate in the tabernacles. Brothers and sisters be stiff-necked as hell, not understanding that it's a judgment for those things. That's what we read in the law, Deuteronomy 16 and verse 16. Read on out.
I will come up into the midst of thee in a moment and consume thee. Therefore, now put off thy ornaments from thee, that I may know what to do unto thee. Because I'm going to tell you, you had them, brothers and sisters. Guess what? You'll be out there at the tabernacles, antisocial. Is that really the time to be antisocial? Think about it, man. I'm talking about wicked spirits, man. I'm talking about don't give a damn about the other people that's around them, man. I'm talking about make me sick. For real. That is not the time to be antisocial at the tabernacle. Brothers and sisters supposed to be having a good time because I'm going to tell you, if you going in that spirit, man, go somewhere else, man. Like for real, man, brothers going to be out there having a great time, kicking it amongst each other. That's why we want to constantly make sure we go over these classes, man. Because sometimes brothers and sisters lose that. Satan going to try to prey on certain brothers and sisters to pull them out of the spirit. We have it all the time throughout the scriptures, man. Read on out. Come. Verse 6. And the children of Israel stripped themselves of their ornaments by the Mount Horeb. This is the point that I want. Read on. And Moses took the tabernacle and pitched it without the camp, and far off from the camp, and called it the tabernacle of the congregation. What did he call it? The tabernacle of the congregation. He called it the tabernacle of the congregation. What congregation is talking about? The congregation of Israel, man. Because a lot of times Christians think that the congregation is made up of a multi-ethnic race. You don't read that in the scriptures, man. What brother got the precept showing you that the congregation is Israel? Let's get that. All praise God. Let's get that Psalms. Hold your precept. Let's get that Psalms. Because this does not pertain to all nations.
Psalm 74 and verse 2.
The book of Psalms, chapter 74, verse 2.
This is showing you who the congregation is.
Remember thy congregation, which thou hast purchased of old.
Because the Most High God purchased and redeemed us through the blood of Yahushua. Read on out.
The
Rod of thine inheritance.
The rod of thine inheritance. Read on out.
which thou hast redeemed. This Mount Zion.
This Mount who?
This Mount Zion.
No, this multi-ethnic church.
This Mount Zion.
Read on out.
Wherein thou hast dwelt.
Wherein the Most High God has dwelt. So not all nations is the congregation of Israel. We have to make that clear. We have to hone in on these points each and every time. Let's go back to Exodus chapter 33 and verse 7.
Exodus chapter 33, verse 7. And Moses took the tabernacle and pitched it at the camp, a far off, so like a far off from the camp, and called it the tabernacle of the congregation.
Read on out.
And it came to pass that everyone which sought the Lord went out unto the tabernacle of the congregation.
So when you wanted to seek the Most High, you went out to the tabernacle of the congregation. Read on out.
Which was without the camp. And it came to pass when Moses went out unto the tabernacle, that all the people rose up and stood every man at his tent door.
That is what I.
His tent door.
At his tent door. Read on out.
And looked after Moses until he was gone into the tabernacle.
Read on.
And it came to pass, Moses entered into the tabernacle. The cloudy pillar descended and stood at the door of the tabernacle. And the Lord talked with Moses.
Man, that's some heavy stuff, man. Some heavy stuff. Meaning the Most High God had Christ deal with Moses on a holy type level.
Bring that up.
Read that again.
Exodus chapter 33, verse 10 from the top. All the people saw the cloudy pillars stand at the tabernacle door. And all people rose up and worshiped every man in his tent door. And the Lord spake unto Moses.
Hold on. Read the last part of verse 10.
Come and worship every man in his tent door.
So why did y'all brothers and sisters think that especially when the cloud came over through the tabernacle door and the people rose up and worshiped, why do y'all think that the people rose up and worshiped when they seen this?
Right. Show respect.
Huh?
Show respect.
Why? Why would y'all think he seen it? Why was it? What you got?
The pillar of the cloud gave the Lord his visit.
Say that again.
The pillar of the cloud gave the Most High his visit. He's here.
Because y'all just remember what you got.
They just got delivered.
No, it ain't no.
They just saw it happen in Egypt.
They just seen what happened when the Lord came to visit. Like I was saying, they just seen what happened. Then when they got the commandments, when they seen that cloud, let's go there right quick.
For real. It's deep and heavy, man. It's going to a lot.
Because there was some respect after they seen that. That's why when they seen it again, they like, hey, go to Exodus chapter 20, verse 18.
So even when y'all see this illustration, this is the tabernacle that it's talking about. Then we had what? All the other camps within their tribes. 3 on the east, 3 on the west, 3 on the north, and 3 on the south. With the tabernacle within the middle of the congregation of Israel. Was this to see this? To kind of give y'all an illustration, to give y'all a vision. So you kind of home in the point.
They coming. Read that up.
Come, the book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 18. And all the people saw the thunderings and the lightnings and the noise of the trumpet, right? And the mountain smoking. And when the people saw it, they removed and stood afar off.
So when they seen it this time, they stood afar off, right? Because it was fearing them like, dang, what the hell is that, right? They didn't know what the hell was going on, right? Read.
And they said unto Moses,
What he say?
speak thou with us, and we will hear. But let not God speak with us, lest we die.
Because they felt like they spoke to whatever was going on right there, they felt like they was gonna die. So when they seen it, guess what, in the tabernacle congregation, and then they seen this thing happening right before their face, guess what they did? They fell down and worshiped because the respect was there. Brothers and sisters, get there. The respect was literally there. They didn't have to run around and talk. No, it was right here in front of them. That's why when the Lord, why you think Christ saying right now, greater things what we do than our forefathers? Because we ain't got those signs. That was right in front of us. And he literally showing us right there. Right? We get an inkling of stuff because we get blessings, right? Even in the midst of our captivity, but we don't see the signs that our forefathers literally seeing, right?
That's right. So what was that cloud going into, man? Not in this sense. What? Let's go to Numbers right quick. Numbers chapter 9. We'll start at verse 17. What do y'all think that cloud was going into?
Cloud by day.
Protection.
I mean, yeah, Fred. I'm like, what was it going into?
Protection.
Protection.
It's going into our protection, man. And this enters our covering. Who do you think that covering is, man?
Right.
That's right, Christ. Well, let's go to Numbers chapter 9 right quick and read 17. We'll read down.
The book of Numbers, chapter 9, verse 17.
Bring it out.
And when the cloud was taken up from the tabernacle.
Now, like I was just showing y'all that illustration of the tabernacle, when the cloud was taken up from that tabernacle, read.
Then after that, the children of Israel journeyed.
Then the children of Israel journeyed, right? Read.
And in the place where the cloud abode, there the children of Israel pitched their
You
tents.
see that? But where the cloud abode, the children of Israel pitched their tents. But when that cloud left, what did the children of Israel do? They moved, right? Read on.
Come in the commandment of the Lord. It's like at the commandment of the Lord.
At the commandment of the Lord. This is why we always say, brothers and sisters, to make sure that you stand in the spirit, man. When we out there on our feast days, because we gotta have the commandment of the Lord with us, man, right? We gotta be in order at all times with this thing, as it's commanded. That's some up.
Yeah.
Oh no, go ahead.
Oh, keep reading. Oh, come on. Verse 18 from the top. At the commandment of the Lord, the children of Israel journeyed.
So when we journeyed only on the commandment of the Lord, man, when he gave us to go. This is why we always got to stay in order. Read.
And at the commandment of the Lord, they pitched.
So when at the commandment of the Lord we left, or at the commandment of the Lord we stayed, right? Read.
As long as the cloud abode upon the tabernacle, they rested in their tents.
As long as that tabernacle or that cloud was upon us, we stayed and rested in our tents. That was going into our what? Protection. That was going into Christ, the covering that the Lord had put upon us, man. Right? Read on. Read that. Jump down to verse 22.
Verse 22, or whether it were 2 days, or a month, or a year.
It don't matter how long it was the time. If it was 2 days, a month, or a year, and that cloud was what?
That the cloud tarried upon the tabernacle.
If that cloud was upon the tabernacle, we what? We stayed. Read.
Remaining thereon, the children of Israel abode in their tents.
See, we got to have order when we out there, man. We got to be in the spirit, right? All the time when we do these high holy days, what do we always say, brothers and sisters? But make sure that you what? It's something else that we say too. Stay in the spirit, but what? Make sure you have an understanding of what we are doing this for. Remember, we not just at Tabernacles having a good time. Of course, we want to have a good time, but you got to stay in the spirit and remember why we are doing these things. Exactly what the hell we out here for, man. Our forefathers show us, man. They had to have great understanding of what's going on. When that cloud moved, damn it, we move. Until that cloud move, we're going to stay here. Right? This is order that we had to have out there, man. Read 22 again. We'll get back to that. I'll get back.
Verse 22, or whether it were 2 days, or a month, or a year, that the cloud tarried upon the tabernacle, remaining thereon, the children of Israel abode in their tents.
Read.
And journeyed not.
And journeyed not. Read.
But when it was taken up, they journeyed.
But when it was taken up, they journeyed. I always remember what we're doing these things for. Because when it come down to game time, like you said, I went into what Judges 5 and 11. These are rehearsals of righteous acts. But when it come to game time, your ass better be ready to stay. No matter how long you're there, if it's a year, if the Lord tell us to stay in that one area in the wilderness for a year or 2 months, or he say that cloud going, y'all get y'all ass out, you better make sure you're ready to go. And don't have no murmuring or complaining about, oh, we just got here. I just built my damn temple. Take it down and move and get your ass to the next spot.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? Make sure you understand what we are doing these high holy days for. Go ahead, Doc.
Let's go to the book of Numbers. Because can any brother, what was the tribes? What was the 3 tribes on the east? And y'all should already know.
Yep.
Who else out? Can you name all 3? Without going to the scripture right quick. So he had one right, Judah. Let's go to the book of Numbers, chapter 2 and verse 3. Yeah, Numbers chapter 2 and verse 3.
The book of Numbers, chapter 2, verse 3. And on the east side toward the rising of the sun, shall they of the standard of the camp of Judah pitch throughout their armies. And Nahshon, the son of Amminadab, shall be captain over the children of Judah.
So we had Judah first, jump down to verse 5.
Verse 5. And those that do pitch next unto him shall be the tribe of Issachar.
So we had Issachar, Judah, Issachar, jump down to verse 7.
Verse 7. Then the tribe of Zebulun.
So what was the 3 tribes on the east? Judah, Issachar, Zebulun. This is the Most High God setting up rank, order, and structure, man. Like, remember, brothers tend to forget that we are a military as well, man. We are the Lord's army. That's literal. Jump down to verse 10.
Verse 10. On the south side shall be the standard of the camp of Reuben, according to their armies. And the captain of the children of Reuben shall be Elazar, the son of Shadur.
So on the south side, the first tribe that we got is who? Reuben. Jump down to verse 12.
Verse 12. And those which pitch by him shall be the tribe of Simeon.
So on that second south side camp is who?
Simeon.
Simeon. Jump down to verse 14. Thanks, Doc.
Then the tribe of Gad, and the captain of the sons of Gad.
Numbers chapter 2, verse 14. Read it again.
Numbers chapter 2, verse 14. Then the tribe of Gad, and the captains of the sons of Gad shall be Elisah, the son of Rebiel.
Read verse 17. So out of those 3 on the south side, who do we have again? Reuben, Simeon, and Gad on the south side camp. Like I said, if y'all don't have it in y'all Bibles, write these things down. Just good information to know. Read verse 17.
Verse 17. Then the tabernacle of the congregation shall set forward with the camp of the Levites in the midst of the camp.
So who was in the midst of the camps? Levi. In the tabernacle. Read on.
And they shall encamp. So shall they set forward, every man in his place by their standards.
Even like the image that we just showed in the book that's showing you, like you said, the Levites were the ministers. Because what tribe was Moses? Levi. Jump down to verse 18.
Verse 18. On the west side shall be the standard of the camp of Ephraim.
So we had Ephraim on the west side. Jump down to verse 20.
Verse 20. And by him shall be the tribe of Manasseh, and the captain of the children of Manasseh, Gamaliel, the son of Pedazur.
Jump down to verse 22.
Verse 22. Then the tribe of Benjamin, and the captain of Benjamin shall be Abadan, the son of Gideoni.
So what was on the west side? Ephraim, Manasseh, and Benjamin. Jump down to verse 25 on the north side.
Verse 25. The standard of the camp of Dan shall be on the north side by their armies. And the captains of the children of Dan shall be Azir, the son of Ammishaddai.
That's a good pronunciation. I'll jump down to verse 27.
Verse 27. And those that encamp by him shall be the tribe of Asher. And the captain of the children of Asher shall be Pagiel, the son of Okran.
Jump down to verse 29.
Verse 29. Then the tribe of Naphtali, and the captain of the children of Naphtali shall be Ahiram, the son of Enan.
So we see all the tribes and where their respective places on the east, the west, the north, and the south, literally showing and setting up order according to the Most High God's ranking. Let's go to the book of 2 Chronicles, chapter 8 and verse 12.
The book of 2 Chronicles, chapter 8, verse 12. Then Solomon offered burnt offerings unto the Lord on the altar of the Lord, which he had built before the porch, even a certain rate every day, offering according to the commandment of Moses on the Sabbaths, and on the new moons, and on the solemn feasts, 3 times in the year, even the feast of unleavened bread, and in the feast of weeks, and in the feast of tabernacles.
So we see King Solomon was doing what? Keeping the tabernacles. Remember, this history was passed down from generation to generation. Now that since we have been discontinued, the Most High God is waking up our spirit to do what? Start to rehearse these righteous acts back in this time. Let's go to the book of Ezra, chapter 3 and verse 4. Yes, 2 Chronicles 8, 13. 2 Chronicles chapter 8, verse 13. Let's read it again right quick.
The book of 2 chapter 8, verse 12. Then Solomon offered burnt offerings unto the Lord on the altar of the Lord, which he had built before the porch. Verse 13. Even after a certain rate every day, offering according to the commandment of Moses on the Sabbaths, and on the new moons, and on the solemn feasts, 3 times in the year, even the feast of unleavened bread, and in the feast of weeks, and in the feast of tabernacles.
So this is showing you how what the Most High God had King Solomon set these things up. Now, during the time of Moses, the tabernacles was what? It was tent. But during the time of Moses, what did it look? I mean, during the time of Solomon, what did it look like? Looked like a temple. Most High God literally had Solomon create that thing and beautify that thing, man. So I know we was kind of touching on that with the eyes on the new moon. But that temple that's over there, guess what? That's not the temple. That's Herod's temple. That's the Wailing Wall, the Goosen Wall. And what the hell they doing over there, man? It's wicked as hell, man.
Let's go to Acts 7 and 44 right quick while I'm looking for it. Because this is exactly how the Most High God gave us order in exactly the fashion that he gave it. Like Acts 7 and 44. Like you said, in Solomon's time, oh man, it was beautified. In Moses' time, it was what, tents.
So I know brothers that was on the new moon was there seeing that thing. Look how much gold was up in that thing, man. These are the things that the Babylonians took and robbed from us. Pretty sure some of this stuff may be very well still up in the Vatican somewhere. Man.
Oh, both like,
You know, if they had smelted it down, you know, to make other old items and so on and so forth.
Read that, Acts 7 and 44.
The book of Acts, chapter 7, verse 44. Our fathers had the tabernacle of witness in the wilderness.
Going to who? Going into Moses, going into Solomon, right? Our fathers. Read.
As he had appointed, speaking unto Moses.
But as he has appointed speaking to Moses, read.
That he should make it according to the fashion that he had seen.
Make it according to the fashion that he had seen. Like I just said, in Moses' time, what was the fashion? Tents, right? Wood, right? But in Solomon's time, it was what? Beautified with gold, right? So in that same fashion, basically going into the order how the Most High God gave it, man. He told him to make it in the fashion which he had seen. Don't try to beautify this one at this time now. You're going to make this one the way that I want you to make it. Right? Yeah, I just want y'all to see that.
That's a great point, man. Let's go to the book of Ezra, chapter 3, and start at verse 4.
The book of Ezra, chapter 3, verse 4. They kept also the Feast of Tabernacles, as it is written, and offered the daily burnt offerings.
Salakia, start up at verse 1.
Come. The book of Ezra, chapter 3, verse 1. And when the 7th month was come, and the children of Israel were in the cities, the people gathered themselves together as one man to Jerusalem.
What does it mean as one man?
all on one accord.
All on one accord. And that's the spirit that we got to move in when we out there at the tabernacles. Because I'm going to tell you, the book of Jude, chapter 1, verse 22, What is that going into? These be they who separate themselves, being sensual, having not the spirit. So I'm gonna tell you, brothers better be on the lookout. Sisters better be on the lookout. Brothers that's not trying to fellowship amongst brothers while you're out there in the wilderness. Brother, emotional. Sisters, emotional. You having not the spirit, man. Let's get there right quick, man. Hold the precept. That's not being one man knit together. Jude chapter 1.
The book of Jude, chapter 1, verse 19. These be they who separate themselves. Sensual.
What?
Sensual. Having not the spirit.
Brothers have to watch out for that particular type of spirit. Sisters have to watch out for their spirit, man. Because you see that brothers being emotional, sisters being emotional, they don't have the spirit. Meaning what? They out of the spirit. Read on.
But ye beloved, building up yourselves on your most holy faith, praying in the Holy Ghost.
Praying in the Holy Ghost. Meaning if you got that spirit on you, pray that the Most High God take those things off of you. I want to pray that the Most High God, guess what, put a spirit of fellowship, a spirit of, guess what, joyfulness and gladness of heart while we out there at the Tabernacles, man. We want to have a good time. Y'all know our brothers and sisters do at the Battle Axes, man. We have a great time, man. Whether it be kickball, whether it be volleyball, water gun fights, all different type of things we have. Like we say, worship in the name of the Most High. After we done had Sabbath class, after we done had Friday night class, trivia, going through questions. These are things that, guess what, that help keep us in the spirit.
Right.
So we damn sure gonna have a good time in the Lord, man. Let's go back to the book of Ezra. Ezra chapter 3 and verse 1.
The book of Ezra, chapter 3 and verse 1. And when the 7th month was come,
What month are we in right now? It's the 7th month. Read on.
and the children of Israel were in the cities, the people gathered themselves together as one man to Jerusalem.
As what?
As one man.
As men and women on one accord, man. Read on up.
To Jerusalem. Then stood up Jeshua, the son of Jozadak, and his brethren, the priests, and Jerubbaal, the son of Shalatiel.
So we see this is going into Joshua, not the Joshua of Moses' time. This Jeshua or Joshua, because it's pronounced Joshua, is going into what? During the time of Zerubbabel, when they was doing what? Rebuilding the temple in the Persian and Mede captivity. Whole brothers wrote that down. Read on up.
And his brethren, and builded the altar of God of Israel.
Because King Cyrus had commissioned us to do what? Rebuild the temple. Read on.
To offer burnt offerings thereon, as it is written in the law of Moses, the man of God.
The man of who?
The man of God.
Jump down to verse 4.
Verse 4. They kept also the Feast of Tabernacles, as it is written.
As it is written where?
Exodus 23, 16.
And what else?
Leviticus
23. As it is written in the law. Read on up.
By number. So like they kept also the Feast of Tabernacles, as it is written, and offered the daily burnt offerings by number, according to the custom, as the duty of every day required.
As the duty of what?
Every day required.
So we see that, guess what? Even our forefathers, while they were in what? Captivity, kept the Feast of Tabernacles. You don't see our brothers even don't see this. Don't give you another. Let's go to the book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 10. What time period was Maccabees, brother Joshua? What captivity? Brother Joshua.
I can't recall. Man, I ain't got the notes with me.
The Greek captivity. Write that thing in the front of your apocrypha. Right in front of your apocrypha. The Greek captivity, all praises. 20. Remember that we tell brothers, write each and every captivity of each prophet in your Bible so that you can understand and have a reference in time. 2 Maccabees chapter 10 Yeah.
The book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 10, verse 6. And they kept 8 days with gladness, as it is in the feast of the tabernacles.
Read it again.
2 Maccabees, chapter 10, verse 6. And they kept 8 days with gladness, as in the feast of tabernacles.
Hold up. It says, and they kept 8 days with gladness, as in the feast of the tabernacle. So what feast was they keeping?
Dedication.
Damn it, I didn't want you to answer.
Oh, it's like,
You know, I want to make sure that Bruce understand that thing. Read it again.
Come. 2 Maccabees, chapter 10, verse 6. And they kept 8 days with gladness.
So even like Ox said, Salakia, this is going into what? The Feast of Dedication, but it's also showing you that they did what? Kept the tabernacles.
Right.
So y'all want to put that right there. Tabernacles, dedication. Maccabees. Read on, huh?
And they kept 8 days with gladness, as in the Feast of Tabernacles, remembering that not long before they had held the Feast of the Tabernacles, when as they wandered in the mountains in dens like beasts.
Why did it say that? Brothers, any brother know? Like, do any brother know? I'll just put it to you that way. What you got in here?
They wandered in the mountains.
Yes.
They was hiding to keep the people there.
Branches of palm trees, and the boughs of thick trees, and willows of the brook. And ye shall rejoice before the Lord your God 7 days.
Go back to Maccabees, 2 Maccabees chapter 10 and verse 7, saying the same exact thing.
2 Maccabees chapter 10, verse 7. Therefore they bear branches and fair boughs and palms also, and sang psalms unto him that had given them good success in cleansing his place.
Go ahead, Okay. So we see that, guess what? They was initiating the things that was stemmed from what? From the law. Let's go to the book of Nehemiah chapter 8, verse 17. Like we say, just write it down. Write the precepts that brothers is calling out down. So you keep it simple. Nigga, I ain't doing that. That nigga, and you know why I ain't doing it? Because he said to do it.
Watch this. What you finna go to?
Nehemiah chapter 8.
Man, y'all, I know a lot of y'all got the.
That's all right. We're going to talk to you.
The book of 1 Maccabees chapter 13, verse 51. And entered into the 3 and 20th day of the second month, in the 171 year,
Right.
with thanksgiving, and branches of palm trees, and with harps and cymbals, and with viols, and with hymns and songs, because there was destroyed a great enemy out of Israel.
What time is this?
yeah,
The day of Simon. The brothers catch that in the verse. Let me see if y'all call it.
The day of what?
The day of Simon. Day of Simeon. What I be saying?
Day of Simon, Simeon.
I be saying it.
Simon.
Simon.
you said it right now.
I did. Read that again.
Numbers, like 1 Maccabees chapter 13, verse 51. And enter into it the 3 and 20th day of the second month,
Read.
in the 171 year,
Read on.
with thanksgiving and branches of palm trees.
Branches of what?
Palm trees.
What? Okay, I'm asking y'all brothers something right quick. If you notice on different feast days, why do they keep talking about it's supposed to be some trees there? What the hell? They got trees there, man.
Wave on.
Wave off. That's pretty good. What else? Let me see.
Certain trees grow at different times of year.
Nah, that ain't what I want right there, for sure. I want that. Because just like, think about it, during the tabernacle. I mean, think about during the tabernacle, they use trees for what? Huh? What about the dedication? We just read the dedication. What they use trees for? Dedication. Offerings. Guess what? What else they use it for in the day of Simon? Simeon. Huh? Shade protection. Burning fire. Guess what? These things was part of us, right? Why you think when Christ rubbed that stuff out of that man's eye, and he said, "I see men walking as trees." These trees was part of us too. Just like certain trees you couldn't cut down, right? These trees have always been a part of us. That's why, like in the tabernacles, being outside, being in the wilderness, these things was part of our culture. So the Lord literally made these things for us, man. What you got, Fred?
I was gonna say, they do that when Christ came on, right? They on the ass to Jerusalem. They laid down palm trees.
They lay down palm trees. You see that? These things be symbolic, huh? All right? These things is definitely symbolic, right? Going into these things these was part of our culture, man, right? Go ahead, huh?
Let's go back. Let's go to the Nehemiah chapter 8 and we start at verse 14. So like, oh yeah. Yeah, verse 2. Nehemiah chapter 8 and start at verse 14.
Come, the book of Nehemiah, chapter 8, verse 14. And they found written in the law with, you said, is that which?
Yeah.
Okay. And they found written in the law, which the Lord had commanded by Moses, that the children of Israel should dwell in booths in the feast of the 7th month.
In the feast of the what?
Of the 7th month.
Now, what captivity was Nehemiah in, Brother Fred?
I think, Babylonia.
And what you have, twin? You wrong.
Persian Medes.
Persian and Mede.
Yeah.
Who also talking about, yeah, no.
I was trying to correct you.
Who also walked with Nehemiah? Twin.
I got a couple people right here. I'm gonna say Ezra.
Ezra, all praise God. His right hand man. Read this again.
Come, Nehemiah chapter 8, verse 14. And they found written in the law, which the Lord had commanded by Moses, that the children of Israel should dwell in booths in the feast of the 7th month.
Read on.
And that they should publish and proclaim in all their cities and in Jerusalem, saying, go forth unto the mount and fetch olive branches and pine branches and myrtle branches and palm branches and branches of thick trees to make booths, as it is written.
As it is written where? That's right. Read on.
Verse 16. So the people went forth and brought them and made themselves booths, every one upon the roof of his house, and in their courts, and in the courts of the house of God, and in the street of the water gate, and in the street of the gate of Ephraim. And all the congregation of them that were come again out of the captivity made booths, and sat under the booths.
And did what?
And sat under the booths.
Read on.
For since the days of Joshua, the son of Nun, until that day, had not the children of Israel done so. And there was a very great gladness.
And there was a what?
A very great gladness.
Because why couldn't they keep it? Because they were what?
Captivity. They was in captivity.
They was in captivity. Remember, they was on a run during what time? The Maccabees. This was hundreds of years later. Read on out.
Verse 18. Also by day from the first day unto the last day, he read in the book of the law of God.
So that's what we commanded to do. Go out there, get in the scripts. Like we say, that's what we have in, like we say, Friday class, Saturday class, man. Reading out of the book of the law. Read on out.
And he read in the book of the law of God. And they kept the feast 7 days. And on the 8th day was a solemn assembly, according to the manner.
According to the manner. So guess what? These things didn't change when we went to the New Testament. And Christians will see these things and they still don't do them. Still don't do them. And it don't get no more plainer than that. What's the precept in the New Testament where they kept the Feast of Tabernacles? Any brother? What you got, Soldier? Donovan? Let's get there right quick. It didn't change from the New Testament, man.
John 7, right?
Yeah, John chapter 7 and verse 1. John chapter 7 and verse 1.
The book of St. John, chapter 7, verse 1. After these things, Yahushua walked in Galilee, for he would not walk in Jericho, because the Jews sought to kill him.
Because the Jews sought to what?
Kill him. Now the Jews' feast of tabernacles was at hand.
So what do you think Christ was doing? Come on, keeping the feast of tabernacles. This is plain. If Christ kept it, guess what? Ain't we supposed to walk after how Christ walked?
That's right.
I mean, it's just plain, man. Read on.
Come. His brethren therefore said unto him, Depart hence and go into Judea, that thy disciples also may see the works that thou doest.
Let's go to 1 John chapter. Say it again. What'd you say, Art? Say that again. Who said that? Because they don't know the answer. They called out the wrong answer. So, wait up.
Now I was just gonna say, what did Ezra do that we are doing today? What we just read. Ezra and Nehemiah. And what? And that's right. And what did they do? Yeah, that too. Well, y'all saying it, but I'm just saying, what did they say exactly? What precept did we just read? 8:14. What did he say they did? And they found written in the law which the Lord had commanded by Moses. So that's what we are doing today. We are found written in the law that we indeed have to keep the Most High's holy days, man. And that's why we are doing it. To the people of the world, they think we are here stupid. Oh, y'all going on a camping trip? No, it ain't just no camping trip. We going on a commandment trip.
That's right.
Right? It ain't just no camping trip. It's a commandment camping trip that we're going on. So we found out the same way that our forefathers found out. Because every time we went into captivity, man, we either had our books stripped from us or we lost a sight of what we were doing because they had us what? Doing their will, doing their days. So now we found in this captivity again, in fact, that we do have to keep these high holy days. Right? So we're doing the same thing. Like I said, it's a ring, man. This thing just keep going around and around, man. So when they say you out here looking stupid or foolish, all right, that's a bit.
That's right. We fools for Christ's sake.
That's right.
Let's go to 1 John chapter 2 and verse 5. Because that's the thought. Like we said, if Christ kept the Feast of Tabernacles, who are we not to? If we're supposed to follow in his steps. I mean, Christians make the Bible difficult, and we know it's going to be that way because they don't keep his commandments. Read this out.
The book of 1 John, chapter 2, verse 5. But whoso keepeth his word, in him verily is the love of God perfected. Hereby know that we are in him.
So if we keep the Most High God's word, the love of the Most High God is perfected. So that's showing you that we can be perfect, man, according to God's wills. Read on up.
Come. Like verse 6. He that said he abideth in him.
If you saying that you abide in the Most High and in Christ, read on up.
On himself also so to walk, even as he walked.
Then that means you should walk as Christ walked. That means you should do the things that Christ did. Christ did what? He kept the Feast of Tabernacles, man, according to John chapter 7, verse 1 and 2 on down. So they should be following those things, but they don't, man. They do not want to keep God's laws to save their lives. And it's literally their lives on the line, man. Literally their lives on the line. Let's go to the book of Sirach, chapter 31. Say feast day etiquette, how brothers should be, how sisters should be out there at the feast. Etiquette meaning how to carry yourself at feast days. Remember, a lot of times we tend to forget that we are kings and princesses. We have to reinforce that notion, man. We are kings and princesses of the Most High. So we'll be out there being ratchet. Hey, not with the booty dances. No. pull brothers and sisters back. No, this ain't that type of party. Give me Sirach chapter 31 and verse. Start at verse 12.
The book of Sirach, chapter 31, verse 12. If thou sit at a bountiful table, be not greedy upon it.
Read it again.
If thou sit at a bountiful table, be not greedy upon it.
So we know it'll be food out there. We want to make sure that brothers are standing in the spirit, sisters are standing in the spirit, not being greedy. You know, acting like you ain't had a meal since the Day of Atonement. Like, no. Come on, man. Read on, Ox.
And say not, there is much meat on it.
Because it'll be plenty of food out there. You know, brothers, they don't like me on the grill, but I'm getting on that grill this year. Brothers, Capt and Capt Jerubbaal, they be hating on me, man. Ehud, what the hell you laughing at? You don't be on the grill either. At all. They be hating, man. I can at least cook some hot dogs, man. Brothers be hating like, no, Benaniyah. I'm telling you, literally run across the field. Snatch the spatula. Brothers is wrong, man. Read on, Doc.
Come. Verse 13. Remember that a wicked eye is an evil thing, and what is created more than a wicked eye? Therefore it weepeth upon every occasion.
Because you see much food in your eyes telling you eat, eat, eat. Most like God is telling you that's a wicked thing, man, when you can't discipline yourself. You just see food. You ain't even hungry. You just see it. God, and it ignites up.
Look at all these snacks. I got to have them, man. Bro, be like that, though.
Yeah, that was kind of like last night coming out that fast. He ain't want nothing, most of that stuff. I know I did. I just ate, man. Trail mix.
Hey, you know what?
No GMO fruit roller. All you got to be able to discipline yourself.
You do. You really, because, I mean, the scripture make it plain for us to abstain from our appetites anyway.
That's right.
Right? But the thing is, say for instance, man, you know how much you eat. And do y'all know the reason why scripture is saying this? Do y'all know why it's saying it? Do y'all know why? It's a physical side, but it's a spiritual side too, right? But why is it saying for the spiritual side? Why is it saying it though?
You see,
You get what up? Your ass can't get right? And not just that. Think about you feed yourself and you done got over full. Now somebody else come up there, now they can't get nothing because you done ate it all up. That's not loving your brother, man. That's truly not loving your brother. I'm just gonna take it all. Man, the reason why scripture said about that for the show is we should have, if we move like I said, we moving like kings, right? And the women moving like princesses. Guess what? We should show some decorum about ourselves, man. Dang, you know you got a bag of chips and a little juicy juice or something, man. Go on about your business, man. Right? Don't just sit there and just keep going, man, because some brothers they'll do it, right? Go ahead, Doc. But
You wouldn't be war ready.
you won't be war ready.
We ain't forget it, bro. Say, man, we getting on
Watch this.
line, man. I'm second that. We getting on your hood after we playing.
But for real, go to Proverbs chapter 23 right quick. Go to Proverbs 23. I'm gonna see how brothers feel. 23, start verse 1.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 23, verse 1. When thou sittest to eat with a ruler.
What did that mean? Leadership, kings, all that, right? When you sit up on, okay, because you got to think during the tabernacles. I mean, we eat with the congregation, but during the tabernacle, we gonna be right here in the midst, right? All day, all night, right, Reed?
When thou sittest to eat with a ruler, consider diligently what is before thee.
So guess what? Meaning what, brothers?
Look at what's in front of you. That's the table.
Means, guess what? It still has to be a respect level there.
Right.
Right? You still got to be some kind of respect level there, right? Read.
And put a knife to thy throat.
Say what?
And put a knife to thy throat.
It said, put a knife to your throat, read.
If thou be a man given to
It
appetite.
said, if you be a man too greedy, the Lord said, put a knife to your dang on throat. That's pretty tough, man. What that mean? You mean to control yourself where you, look here. Check. Hey, for real. Check yourself or you wreck yourself. This is what Sirach chapter 31 going into, man. He said, if you be too greedy, he said, put a knife to your throat, right? Verse 3.
Be not desirous of his dainties, for they are deceitful meat.
Because guess what? If you get too greedy out there, guess what's gonna happen? You're gonna not only want yours, you're gonna be wanting his and hers and his and hers. Now you want everybody's stuff, man. Right? That put a spirit on brothers and sisters, man. Don't think it don't, because it does. That thing literally put a spirit on you, old brothers and sisters, man. Dang, she go over there and she gonna eat all of that up. I ain't getting none, right? Because you don't be greedy, now you got other people talking because you can't control your food, right? That's why you got to make sure you watch yourself in these things, man. Right? Go ahead, Doc.
Let's keep reading. Let's go back to the book of Sirach. Chapter 31, like we say, this is going into the etiquettes, how brothers should act, how brothers and sisters should behave.
Yeah.
14. The book of Sirach, chapter 31, verse 14. Stretch not thy hand whithersoever it looketh, and thrust it not with him into the dish.
Y'all know what that's going into? Like we say, think about that movie. I know y'all done seen the Nutty Professor and the Clumps when they went to that all you can eat. He just slopped stuff. He wasn't even looking at, especially at he just slopped everything up, put it on there, and took everything from the other people. The two fat little boys, they was taking everything. Wasn't even looking where they was grabbing stuff and just slopping this stuff onto their plate. Man, we are not to be like that, man. Read on, yes, I'm good,
Read 13 one more time.
Remember that a wicked eye is an evil thing.
A wicked eye is an evil thing, man. Because what will a wicked eye start you to doing? Coveting, what else? Hate, envying, strife. Look like you want to say something, sister. I know you like, what I want to say. What you want to say, Sister Genesis?
Take the tarp off your tent.
Take the tarp off your tent.
Who was it? You know,
Yeah.
who was it?
Yeah, who was it?
I'm looking for them to apologize. They still ain't saying nothing.
And we gonna get to it.
Who was it? Who was it? Go ahead,
But that evil eye have you what? Starting to murmur and complain. That evil eye have you starting to what? Going and putting wickedness in your brothers and sisters' ear, man. Right? Oh man, this food ain't nothing like last year. They done took this $190 and they done went and just did something with it. Cause this show ain't what I paid $90 for it. Man, that wicked eye have you doing anything, man, murmuring and complaining, man. And that's not what we want to be. That's the spirit we don't want to be in, man. I want to go to Job real quick before we go back. Job 13.
They just don't know when they paid the $90, they forgot the arms, so they gonna go on some of the arms.
Same for real.
People need to forget about that though.
Yeah, man.
Right.
But you know these things are occur. All these things will come up, man.
Because you think about it, people will pay the fees, but they won't pay their own. Ain't that
Right.
so?
And we understand, you know, this 7th month is a heavy month for the children of Israel, right? You got these feast days. We got our 3 feast days coming in. You know, you still got your new moons. On top of it, we still got arms for the building to keep the lights on, to keep the building running. So we understand that, right? But don't get put in that situation where you'll start murmuring and backbiting and complaining, or even imagining evil on your damn leadership and captain, man. Right? But read this 13 and 11. 11 and 13. Job.
The book of Job, chapter 11, verse 13. If thou prepare thine heart.
So this class is for us to what? Prepare your heart for the tabernacle, man. to prepare your mind for the tabernacle etiquette that you must have going into this high holy day. Read.
If thou prepare thine heart and stretch out thy hands towards him.
And understand that we are doing this for who? The Most High God, right? Our power. Read.
If iniquity be in thine hand.
If iniquity is around you, if you feel iniquity coming around you, what should you do?
Put it far away.
Do what?
Put it far away.
Put it far away, Israel, man. If you got some murmuring thoughts, some complaining thoughts, man, put that far away, man. Don't take them thoughts to the tabernacles with you. Because what it's gonna do is that you go sleep on it. It's already gonna be something. It's gonna be either it's too cold. Oh, my feet got wet with the dew in the morning. Like anything, man. I'm talking about it'll have you doing and saying anything.
It's bugs. I mean,
We outside. Yeah, but it's so many. Yeah, that's where they live. That's where they do it. But why they over here? They say
You invade their space.
exactly for real.
You on their turf, man.
Man, if you don't go get you a tiki toy, that evil come upon you.
and some citronella oil.
For real, but this is the spirit that we want to be in. Read 14 again.
If iniquity be in thine hand, put it far away, and let not wickedness dwell in thy tabernacle.
Read that again.
And let not wickedness dwell in thy tabernacles.
Family, we're not gonna let wickedness dwell in the tabernacles, man. While we out there, man. While we out there in camp, if we got something we gotta handle and deal with, we might tell you, hey, man, don't back up. I want to go back to the house, man. And guess what? It ain't nobody choice. So don't keep dwelling in these spirits, man. Because if we got to, we will. And that I go into finna get into the etiquette that we must have. Even you want to what? Drink too much, whatever the case may be. If we see that and go home. That's just what it's gonna be.
Or go to your tent, and we gonna have brothers there to lock you in your tent.
Right.
We're gonna put you inward. That's in the scriptures.
We have done that. Yeah, get in that tent. You better not get out that tent.
And get what? If you pop back out that mug, when you sober up, take your.
I'm finna call out.
Blast them.
Who did we have to make sure that a brother stayed in this tent?
Talking we had to damn near put down hey, you go around this time.
Who was it? Was it you, Brother Fred?
Yeah. I want to see what he gonna say something.
You know, Brother Fred, the king of tabernacle.
Nah, I think that was the second one.
Just a second.
Yeah.
Brother Fred, the king of
It's
tabernacle.
like I up in the tent, man.
Had to get him in. Had
Get in the tent.
Had to have 10 and 2.
Get up in that tent.
Had to put brothers on a work shift. Hey, you got them 10 and 2.
Really?
We'll come out to 2 to make sure you. Hey.
Like we said, we had a couple of incidents. It was we striving for perfection, brothers and sisters. So we did have a couple of incidents. We trying not to have no incidents. Like I said, brothers and sisters see something, let us know. Especially you brothers. Remember, first and foremost, what is our first job? Protectors. We out there watching over each other, watching over the sisters, watching over the children, man. As I said, we encamp around that camp, man, and make sure that the protection is there, man.
That's when I always tell you that everybody in here is a what? Leader. That's when your leadership role kicks in. It ain't just the leaders that should be watching and protecting over this congregation while we out there.
That's right.
Everybody need to have their eyes and ears open.
As watchmen, man.
As watchmen, because that's what we are. This is when your leadership role kicks in, man. Everybody is a leader, man. This is when you kick it in right here. As much fun as we gonna have, you still gotta be what? Watching, man. Watching, man. Right? Keep reading this right quick as we go back.
You want 15?
Yeah.
Verse 15. For then shalt thou lift up thy face without spot.
Without spots. You don't want to have no wickedness or nobody having to come to you during the tabernacle. Hey, brother. Well, I want to see that again. Hey, sis. Come on, while we talking about this, right? Read.
That's right. Yea, thou shalt be steadfast.
That should be what?
Thou shalt be steadfast.
Steadfast. What is steadfast going into? You should be locked in on the goal, on the point, on what we are doing. Locked in, steadfast. Right? Read.
Steadfast and shall not fear.
And shall not fear. Give me this last one.
Verse 16. because thou shalt forget thy misery.
And what?
And remember it as waters that pass away.
Man, your misery should be gone when you out there, man. I'm gonna tell you, man. When we had so much stuff going on around the Atonement Week and everything, man, forget that noise, man. What? Man, my wife called in work yesterday. I said, man, leave that damn car. We ain't even finna worry about this car. I don't give a damn. Get your stuff in this car, let's go. That car gonna sit over there, and I don't give a damn if it sit over there the damn dedication. Let's go. Because the misery should be gone right now. We are in a season and time where the Lord is giving us mercy and grace to what? Have a good time, man. To enjoy each other's company, man. Let's go. Shit, the car ain't going with us. Let's go. Right? So you should not have that misery. It should be gone as waters that pass away, man, right? Because, let's go back.
Jump up to verse 12.
Verse 12. For vain man would be wise, though man be born like a wild ass's colt.
Hey, don't be acting like no wild ass colt out there. Like an untamed horse out there, man.
For real.
Don't do that, man. Like I said, we gonna tame you with the scriptures, man.
I had to put one of them little Edomite things on you. They put on their shirt. Put an Edomite leash on you. You don't want that, man.
Let's go back, man. Sirach chapter 31. Yeah. No, verse 14. That what you said?
Yeah.
14, yeah. You said 13.
Come. The book of Sirach, chapter 31, verse 14. Stretch not thy hand whithersoever it looketh, and thrust it not in him into the dish.
Meaning what? Don't just grabbing food, being greedy upon your belly, man. Read on out.
Verse 15. Judge of thy neighbor by thyself, and be discreet in every point.
Read verse 15 again, man.
Judge of thy neighbor by thyself, and be discreet in every point.
I want to focus on that discreet, meaning what? When knowing when to do something and when not to do something. Even like I just brought out, like you said, knowing when to be a leader. Like you said, you shouldn't have to call a captain if you see one of the children wandering too far off. Hey, let me go call this captain. They steady wandering off. No. Come on, man. That's when them instincts should kick in. That's when that spirit should kick in, man. Go into leadership mode. By default, brother should already be in that mode. You shouldn't have to work yourself in there because guess what? We are the natural leaders of the world anyway. That's the mindset that brothers should be going out there into tabernacles with anyway. Read on up.
Verse 16. Eat as it becometh a man those things which are set before thee.
So if you hungry, eat. There's nothing wrong with that. We know some brothers, twin, got a little bit bigger appetite than others, me. So we know. Read on.
The smallest brothers in here, the biggest appetite, man. Crazy. Go ahead.
And devour not, lest thou be hated.
Lest thou be hated, man. You don't want a brother just being too greedy, or even a sister being too greedy. I'm gonna tell you, man, that when you hear a sister being too greedy, you're like, damn. That's like real bad mannerisms, man. I ain't gonna even lie. Like, yeah, this sister put away some food, man.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you. Man, supposed to be agreeing to something else, man. But I'm telling you, sometimes, man, when you be to me, I know I like to eat food too, but when I be around somebody so greedy, man, I be like, man, it make me not even want to eat, though, man. I can't even eat it like that, man, when I see it, man.
It really do spoil your appetite for real, though. Keep reading now.
Verse 17. Leave off first for manners' sake.
Read it again.
Leave off first for manners' sake.
For manners' sake, meaning having good table manners. Man. These are things that we have to instill in us. Guess what? Sisters, and especially with the children, because they seeing how our mannerisms are at the table. And they're going to follow that. Even when we in the building, don't think that children are watching what we do. They watch everything. So even, especially when we up here at the building, conduct ourselves like kings and princesses. Read on up.
Leave off first for manners' sake, and be not unsatiable, lest thou offend.
Meaning what? Unsatiable is another word for what? Unsatisfied or greedy. To where you just, your eyes get big because you see 100 hot dogs on the grill. And you want 50 of them.
Glizzy it out, huh?
Ooh, it's 100 of them things.
100 glizzies?
Well, I know I'm gonna take down 20 of them bad boys.
Man, but I'm gonna tell you, that's the reason why you think this, man, like y'all brothers, y'all sisters, if y'all do eat like that, man, have you some little snacks in your tents.
For real.
Right? Have you some little snack? What scripture can we tell, what scripture we go to say that we need snacks or we need to eat and not be so greedy? Let me see what brother said.
Like I said, y'all know shit. I'm gonna have my personal, my milk and Oreos. Say, it's gonna be super cold in the cooler. Do not touch it. There will be other milk out there. Hey, I don't want it. Thank you. I hope so.
It's gonna be somebody that want that damn cow though. It's gonna be somebody. You already know.
Be like Esau, drink that. He get some goat milk. He get it cold. He leave it on. Let it get hot.
You can see one of the children over there eating a mess out of bowl of cereal.
But I'm glad that Ox said that. Yes, brothers, since y'all bring y'all own personal things. We not personally shopping for every brother and sister.
Yeah, we
gonna get that because that brother is. No, we gonna try to get
snacks. A personal snacks.
a group of personal snacks.
Go ahead.
What y'all got? 1 Corinthians what? Let's start at verse 33. Let's read it. But that's it. Big come. Watch what it say. Read this.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 11, verse 33. Wherefore, my brethren, when ye come together to eat.
So hey, this ain't a feast days when you come together to eat. Just like the tabernacle, when you come together to eat, read.
Tarry one for another.
It means, he said, tarry one for another, meaning the same thing Ak is going into in Sirach chapter 31. Meaning having respect for one another, man, when you eating, right? Be mindful, right? Verse 34.
And if any man hunger,
If you are just this so hungry, read.
let him eat at home.
No, go around, everybody just eat up every damn thing, man.
Let him eat at home.
Why do you, guess what? Because you want to have respect for other brothers and sisters. Don't come up here as a hungry man, yeah, that's me. No, we ain't trying to do that, right? Read.
Let him eat at home, that ye come not together unto condemnation.
So guess what? That you come not to, so you won't be greedy. You won't be the greedy bro that thrusting your hand into the bowl. You got the evil eye because y'all see how that's going, right? That you said that you won't come to condemnation. Read.
In the rest,
Condemnation for what? Being greedy, having bad mannerisms.
Right. Read.
in the rest, when I set in order when I come.
So guess what? Like Paul was saying, man, that's why we got to set these things in order. This is what the feast day etiquette is for, man. Go ahead.
Let's go back to Sirach, chapter 31 and verse 17 again.
The book of Sirach, chapter 31, verse 17. Leave off first for manners' sake, and be not insatiable, lest thou offend. When thou sittest among many, reach not thy hand out first of all.
Meaning, be respectful, man. Like if you know you behind a brother, don't cross over a brother to get some food. See, check it out. Yeah, my turn on that. Read on.
Verse 19. A very little is sufficient for a man well nurtured.
Read that again.
A very little is sufficient.
Very little
is sufficient for a man well nurtured.
If you are eating regularly and how you're supposed to eat, a very little is sufficient for a brother. Read on.
And he fetcheth not his wind short upon his bed.
What that part mean, Brother Renard? And he fetcheth not his wind upon his short upon his bed. What does that mean, Ehud? So you're not passing gas. Fetching wind is passing gas. Yeah, it is. That too. Read verse 19 again.
Verse 19. And very little sufficient for a man well nurtured.
Because it's for the sisters too. They pass gas. As delicate as sisters are, they pass gas. Yeah. Stop playing.
Guess what? They pass gas way louder than we do. They be going hard. Sisters be going hard, and they be killing the toilet too. They go hard. Yeah.
They hit that cone on you.
Just don't play, brothers. Sisters don't be doing. They go hard in the bathroom. They go hard when they pass gas.
I gotta get away.
Like, excuse me. No.
Read verse 19 again.
Verse 19 from the top. A very little sufficient for a man well nurtured, and he fetcheth not his wind short upon his bed.
Read on up.
Sound sleep cometh of moderate eating. He riseth early, and his wits are with him. But the pain of watching and chawing and pains of the belly are with an unsatiable man.
Meaning eating too much. It's called pains of the belly.
Just for to say that. And it said it causes moderate sleep, good sleep. Because if you eat too much, what 9 times out of 10, what you gonna have? Insomnia, stomachache, what else? Heartburn. Brothers be out there, you got some pins today? Get some pins? What's the pink stuff? Pepto. Right? You eat too much, you can't sleep good at night, man. It got you tossing and turning. But if you eat moderately, you know what I'm saying? You eat at a certain time, you don't eat too late as well. Then you know it helps you with your sleep, man. Go ahead.
Read verse 23.
You want to jump down?
Yeah.
Verse 23. Whoso is liberal of his meat, men shall speak well of him, and the report of his good housekeeping will be believed.
This is the point we want. Read on.
Verse 24. But against him that is a niggard of his meat, the whole city shall murmur.
Hey, you gonna have brothers talking about you, have sisters talking about you. You see that brother, all that on his face. That brother just reached over me. This brother 5 people behind. This brother Stretch Armstrong. Think about these things, man. You want to have good mannerisms when you dealing with one another, man.
This is heavy, man. Verse 23 on the 24. That said, read 23 again.
Whoso is liberal of his meat, men shall speak well of him.
Right, read.
And the report of his good housekeeping will be believed.
So this is a report of his good housekeeping. Dang, that's pretty tough, man. Let's think about it. Because there's a lot of brothers, man, yeah, I keep my stuff a certain way. Brother, you don't keep your stuff like that, man. The way you doing, we say you do. No, we don't believe that. Right? But guess what? Guess what? A person's mouth can make him tell you anything, man. But guess what? Hey, when you see a brother and he's talked that and he really showed that, guess what? You can believe that report, right? But when you like you say verse 24, but when you be a nigger, guess what? They don't, man, bros ain't gonna believe they report. Like, this hungry as hell, no, I don't believe it.
Read that last part of 23 right quick.
In the report of his good housekeeping will be believed.
Because guess what? We want to apply that when we out there at the camp. Not leaving the camp all trashed up, cleaning up after ourselves. These are important things that brothers have to mind, sisters have to mind, even the children have to mind. It takes a collective effort for us to, guess what, keep these things under control. Go ahead, Al.
And you know that's going into what a good name, man, is better than precious gold. You don't want to have a bad report upon you, man. Where everybody always saying, he ain't worth it. He can't go with us next time, right? Let's go to real quick. Let's go to Proverbs 10 and 7. Because if you do well, those things are gonna follow you, right? If you got a report of being good and cleaning up, hey, I can always stay around here. That thing is gonna follow you, right? I hear you. Proverbs 10 and 7.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 10, verse 7. The memory of the just is blessed.
The memory of the just is blessed. Right? You remember that. You remember those good works, man. Right? And guess what? Those are blessings that come upon you, man, right? Read.
But the name of the wicked shall rot.
But the name of the wicked shall rot. You got that ill name upon you, man, that thing gonna rot with you, man. It's gonna stay with you. When some rot, it ain't completely gone. It's still there, but it's just bad. Right? If that banana rot, it's still bad. It's there, but it's just rotten there. So you don't want that to follow you and have that ill name. Brother Ezekiel. But Yeah, it ain't bad. If that what we gotta have, then. So you want to have that good name. What's another precept for wanting to have that good name, man?
Ecclesiastes 8 and 16.
Ecclesiastes 8.
8,
I like Ecclesiastes 7.
yeah. 8 and 10. Oh, Ecclesiastes.
No, Proverbs 22 and 1 and Ecclesiastes 8. I mean Ecclesiastes 7 and 1. Those are good precepts to put right there, man, because you want to have a good name, man. You want to be known for being a good brother or sister toward feast days, man. Right? And every day, basically. Ecclesiastes 7 and 1 and Proverbs 22 and 1. You can preach all those together, even the 10 and 7 of Proverbs.
Let's go back to that Sirach chapter 31 and verse 24. If y'all need to, y'all could at least try to bring that other fan in there and put it on the other side, or turn on that fan. For brothers and sisters that are hot. Read verse 24, the book of Sirach, chapter 31, verse 24 from the top.
The book of Sirach, chapter 31, verse 24. But against him that is a niggard of his meat, the whole city shall murmur.
Read on.
And the testimonies of his niggardness shall not be doubted of.
That thing is heavy. I'm gonna tell you, man, this is how you know that the Bible is a black man's book, man. Because brothers be acting like niggardness. Brothers really do, man. Like, guess what? We are supposed to conduct ourselves a certain way when we out there at the feast, and like I said, just every day. That's how you literally let your light shine. Well, remember, we want brothers and sisters to come into the light, man, not run away from them because they seeing your wicked and niggardness actions.
That's right.
Read on.
Come, show not thy valiantness in wine.
Meaning, don't be mighty and show brothers you can mighty to drink strong wine. You know, read on.
Come, for wine hath destroyed many.
And he's telling you why. Wine has destroyed many. Read on.
Come, the furnace proveth the edge by dipping. So doeth wine the hearts of the proud by drunkenness.
Because if you get to a certain limit, that wine is going to prove you while you out there. Meaning, we're going to see the real you out there.
That's right.
The looseness, the touchiness. Hey, we'll see those things. You not being able to control the words that you are saying, the slurring of words, the stumbling. Hey, those things literally show you who you really are, man. Guess what? You'll be confined to the tents, man. We ain't playing no games, man. Then when we come back to the school, shoot, we know it's going to be some particular type of suspension, man. We're not even playing the games. Read on,
Come, verse 27. Wine is as good as life to a man, if it be drunk moderately.
So we know, guess what? It's good for us if we drink it the right way and moderately. Read on,
What life is then to a man that is without wine?
Read on.
For it was made to make men glad.
So yes, it makes us have a better time when you do it the right way, not when it's overdone. Read on.
Wine measurably drunk, in season, bringeth gladness of the heart and cheerfulness of the mind.
So when it's drunk in season, guess what? It make it what? Read it again.
Bringeth gladness of the heart and cheerfulness of the mind.
Because guess what? You can have a good time when it's drunk moderately. That's what it's for. Yes, we're going to have strong drink. We have wine. Brothers and sisters know these things, but we want to do it the right way. Read on,
But wine drunken with excess maketh bitterness of the mind.
So it's not to say, brothers and sisters, know your limit. You know your limit. Have discipline within that limit, man. Just because you know your limit don't mean that you have to try and go for that limit. Come on, man. I have brothers watching. You know, I'm always watching, man. Even when brothers and sisters don't even think a brother is watching. That's just how brothers is built, man. You just see brothers just come up like a ninja, tap you on the shoulder. Let me talk to you right quick. We'll take brothers off to the bathroom. Take sisters off to the bathroom. You might not see them no more, man. Say, we ain't playing no games when they come out there, man, for real. And if brothers and sisters see something, y'all better say something. Leviticus chapter 5, verse 1. Leviticus chapter 5, verse 1, so we can address the problem. So it can be helped. No. What the hell is going on? Read on, huh?
Con, but wine, drunken with excess, making bitterness of the mind, with brawling and quarreling.
Because we know when you drink in excess, it can cause what? Altercations. Guess what? You mad, you might say the wrong things. That could bring forth an altercation. Read on, huh?
Con, verse 30. Drunkenness increases the rage of a fool.
Read on.
Till he offends.
So we see when brothers and sisters over their limit, it can increase that rage. Read on, huh?
It diminishes strength, Salaki, and maketh wounds.
Meaning what? You can accidentally trip over trees while you out there. It's dark as hell out there, y'all. You might get burned by them, what you call them? Tiki torches. Think about these things, man. That's serious stuff.
You'll trip over the damn stakes, man.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people trip over. It's dark out there, you drunk. And then, like I said, diminish strength. Man, I'm going to tell you, man, the heaviest person, I don't care if you 100 pounds soaking wet, you drunk, man, you the heaviest person, that's dead weight, man. I ain't playing that, man.
Because I'm telling you plain, I don't give a damn. You might be a drunk person.
Man, I ain't either. We gonna drag you.
Right there in that mess, man. I'm telling you.
Dead weight is heavy, man. I'm telling you.
Yo, because what I learned about being around drunk people, guess what? Because I've been one of them people too, that person had to try to take care of. No, sir. And get what the person made me do? And while in my mess, throw up and everything. Guess what happened? I said, you know what? I ain't did that no more. And guess what happened? I ain't helping the next person, because how you help it? You let the ass lay up in there, throw up.
That's right.
Yeah. Because you ain't going to do it a bit. Because guess what? That's embarrassing. Think about you throw up all over yourself when you got to lay in that mug all night. Everybody get up the next day just be looking at you. That thing is embarrassing.
Shaking your head out.
Right? And it said, what, it make you wound. Guess what? Hey, tell brother stay in the spirit, don't put the bees on, spiritual bees on his ass. Hey.
Boy, that thing had you to have spiritual wounds, but you be embarrassed for life, man. Keep reading, huh?
Rebuke not thy neighbor at the wine, and despise him not in his mirth. Give him no despiteful words, and press not upon him with urging him to drink.
So we already know what that's going into. What did this college? Drink. Not urging them to drink.
This nigga this. I want this was upper.
Go ahead, huh?
So read that again, 31.
Verse 31, rebuke not thy neighbor at the wine, and despise him not in his mirth. Give him no despiteful words, and press not upon him, urging him to drink.
What is that saying?
Don't be peer pressure. Don't peer pressure. Like you drinking, like probably hurt us get drunk with you.
It said rebuke him not at the wine or when he's drunk. What is that going into? Get damn fucking get damn have to fight a Negro drunk. Because they already out of the spirit. They don't know what they got going. If they drunk, that means over their limit. So now talking to them, it ain't even no damn reason to talk to you. You drunk, you're not hearing the damn word we saying. All you heard is go to your damn tent.
I ain't going no damn.
And you gotta take your and that's all we doing. We're not gonna give you scriptures right now on that point or nothing like that because you not hearing it. You got no spirits on you. Yeah, you might have to put a bigger phone or put a dude in the chicken wing, put him in the chicken wing. The chicken wing,
you call that thing the Judah hole.
The Judah hole. So we're not really gonna be. It ain't pulling scripture time at that time. It's really just, hey brother, go to your tent, sister, go to your tent. We'll deal with that thing in the morning, man. Look, if it was too bad, hey, pack your stuff, get on out of there. If not, we'll deal with it when we get back.
Read 32 and verse 1.
Y'all already know how we dealt with it. So, man, look, we done had some sisters out of the spirit just along with your brothers. Sisters got the way, she done drunk too much. Don't play me with half. Be a mouse all the way up to the top. Hey, sis, hey, take your ass to your tent, man. take your ass to your head, right? Because it ain't just brothers can just get their spirit on them, the sisters can get their spirit on them as well, man.
That's
Guess
right.
what? Not only that, the children can get their spirit on them as well. Don't think them children don't have spirits on them too, right? Because the children be the main one. Mama, it's hot. Mama. Now mama trying to go in a protective mode and mama thinking about children now. Mama saying it's hot. No, well, sit your ass down somewhere. Because when you see the other kids playing, guess what's going to happen? That spirit will come right back off of you. He going right you up with the other kids. I thought you said it was hot. That's just something they saying, right? We watch the spirits that jump. No, you'll be okay. Because the Lord is in control of this. Come.
Because even like I can say, we did have a situation with a sister. Sister was too intoxicated. We had to lock her in her damn tent. You know, she had a special needs son, so it was a double whammy. You know what I'm saying? So these things do happen with sisters, and these things happen with brothers. Read Sirach chapter 32 and verse 1.
The book of Sirach, chapter 32, verse 1. If thou be made the master of the feast, lift not thyself up, but be among them as one of the rest. Take diligent care for them, and to sit down.
Because we trying to have a good time out there as well. We trying to have a good time. Read verse 1 again.
Come, if thou be made the master of the feast, lift not thyself up.
Because it's our job to organize these things. We're organizing these things, but we also teaching brothers, and hopefully they learning from our example to know ourselves too. That's why we're trying to go over these things to make sure brothers and sisters are holding themselves accountable. Read on. I'll
Take diligent care for them, and so sit down.
So we're going to do our office as well, and guess what? We're going to sit down and have a good time as well, man. Go ahead, Op. Yes, sir. Read on, Op.
And when thou hast done all thy office, take thy place, that thou mayest be merry with them, and receive a crown for thy well ordering of the feast.
And that's what it's all about, man. It's a collective effort for us to well order the feast. Read on.
Verse 3, speak thou that thou art the elder, for it becometh thee.
So you know we'll have certain words to say, you know, but once we do, hey, cut the music back on. Read on.
But with sound judgment.
But with sound judgment. So guess what? As leaders, we have commandments and orders that we must follow. Read on, Op.
And hinder not music.
And that's plain. We can't hinder the music by want to just talk to brothers and just go on and on. No, this is time for a celebration, not the time to just be stopping the music.
I'm gonna tell you, man. I'm gonna tell you, get away, go on, man. Don't come me with all of that questions, man. While we out here chilling, having a good time on feast, man. Come on, man. Go on, man.
Because we're gonna have a particular time that we do it. Because like you say, we got that Friday, we're gonna have our class what, man. You know brothers gonna be when they sit around the campfire and stuff, and we say we open it up for brothers and sisters, guess what? That's the time. But when we got this music going and we celebrate and have a good time, brothers, don't come on with that. Look here, man. Don't be like, talk to the end, face don't understand.
Hey, I got a question. Now, hey,
All right?
you better ask it in class tomorrow, or you better ask it in Friday night campfire class. Hey, you better get your questions ready then. Come on, man. We all want to have a good time, like the scripture say. Man, we trying to put this thing together, but we gonna show y'all how to chill now. We gonna chill. I can't hear the music. I'm gonna say I can't hear the music. What are you talking about? I can't hear the music. This is a great song. They don't let the bruise in the dough. I'm not trying to hear. Hey, I got a question. They don't let the bruise in the dough. I'm gonna start going over. All right? Come on. Go ahead.
Read verse 4.
Verse 4, pour not out words where there is a musician, and show not forth wisdom out of time.
Don't show forth wisdom out of time. That's what brothers is going into. Read on, Op.
Come, a concert of music and a banquet of wine is a signet of carbuncles set in gold.
That meaning what? That is a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Read on, Op.
As a signet of an emerald set in a work of gold, so is the melody of music with pleasant wine.
Read on.
Young man, if there be need of thee, and yet scarcely, when thou art twice asked, let thy speech be short, comprehending much in few words.
Meaning if you do have to say something, follow these attributes. Comprehending much in few words, because what? Brothers are trying to have a good time.
You better abridge it. Come on, what are you saying?
That's right.
What are you trying to say, sister? What are you trying to say, little brother? Come on, abridge it.
Because somebody come about, look here, sometimes we be sitting up and listening, you just be talking talking. Okay, man. Okay, come on with it. Like, come on with it, man.
Well, to make a long story short, well, you should have been done did that. Yeah, well, to make you have to say that. Make the long story short. Go ahead.
Read on. Verse 8.
Son, let thy speech be short, comprehending much in few words. Be as one that knoweth, and yet holdeth his tongue.
Meaning what? Know when to say something, know when not to say nothing. These are the two I really want to focus on with the brothers. Read verse 9.
If thou be among great men, make not thyself equal with them. And when ancient men are in place, use not words.
Read verse 9 again.
If thou be among great men, make not thyself equal with them.
Any brother want to say what that means? Interpret what that means. Go ahead, Art.
When you were leadership, you got leadership.
Yeah, that's short to the point. Give me more, though. Who could kind of expound upon that?
I guess respect the office that I carry for the leadership.
Yeah, that goes a part of that as well. What you got, Art?
All your places,
That's right. That goes into those places. What's an example of that? Give me an example.
military.
Think about it as far as going into
Now
Tabernacles.
us, yeah, I feel you now.
As far as us.
Example within us.
So what would be an example of that?
If y'all give me counsel, like let y'all do that and kind of stay off to the side.
Even when we going over scriptures over the campfires, where a brother try to input like a captain don't know that precept.
Don't do it, he hood.
Oh yeah, you know we talking.
You talking about don't do it either. Hey, that's kind of
Or just because a brother didn't say that, it's like you being fucked up to a degree. Or trying to, guess what, go at the captains or to showcase what you know. Read verse 9 again.
Because I'm gonna tell you, and all actuality, the brothers is learning, and they supposed to learn, and you gonna learn a lot of precepts, and you gonna learn to retain precepts good. But I don't give a damn how much precepts you know, man. If your spirit ain't right, man, you gonna have to be able to show you gotta show forth the Lord that you can be in order to be able to get that understanding, man.
That's right.
Because guess what? I didn't even know the Bible had 1 John when I first started. Up until the point that I'm 10 plus years in. So don't think, guess what? I had to, just like the scriptures say, I had to be patient enough to get built up to that point. I was about to do the same damn thing, man. Right?
But do you think even with me, myself, let's just say we had a priest about Bishop Nathaniel, General Yohana, all the leaders that have been the truth. Do you think if they were around that I would say anything? Do y'all think that? Do you think brothers would be able to say something? I'm just gonna sit back and listen. Brothers with the priest, exactly. If you respond to ask me a question, I'm gonna give a short answer. But other than that, guess what? I am listening. I'm not trying to make myself equal with them. You brothers understand that?
I'm gonna bring that his card. Who you think y'all? Yes. 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 That's it. Short. Yes. How you feel? Yes. No. No.
And guess what? And then brothers been around us by being around great men, the brothers that been in the truth long enough. If they ever see how we move, guess what? They'll see like, damn, they really do move like that when they around great men, right? To show respect to them, man. No brothers been laboring 20 plus 30 years in this truth. Why in the hell we go around and think we gonna? Boy, that'd be some of the craziest stuff in the head in the world, man. Right? You got to show some decorum, man. So, like you said, being out there at camp, guess what? If we give an order, guess what? What do you think? Brothers should be puffed up, or you should just go ahead and get up and do what you need to do, right?
Because we know that spirit will come up. Brothers be around the campfire. Brothers want to showcase the skills. Like we say, there's always a litmus test. The litmus test to showcase your skills is now when we ask you certain questions. Now when you're trying to go at brothers will try to get breakdowns that precepts by the campfire. Keep reading now.
Con. You want 9 again?
Yeah, you can read verse 9 all the way through.
Con. If thou be among great men, make not thyself equal with them. And when ancient men are in place, use not many words.
Use not many words. Read on. Trying to dominate what? The conversation. Read on out.
Before the thunder goeth lightning, and before a shamefaced man shall go favor.
So the Most High God loves a shamefaced man and a shamefaced sister. Jump down to verse 14.
Verse 14. Whoso feareth the Lord will receive his discipline.
Will we do what?
Will receive his discipline.
Above all that, that's what we must have while we out there at the tabernacles, brothers and sisters. Discipline and discretion. Read on out.
And they that seek him early shall find favor.
And that's ultimately what we want, man, because we want the Most High God to dwell amongst us, man. With that, give all honor and praises. Say shalom, go into the Q&A. Any brothers and sisters got any questions concerning the tabernacles? Any online, just concerning the tabernacles? Real quick. Making sure brothers and sisters have their tents, how to prepare. Questions or comments concerning these things?
Do we got all the like accessories for like Saturday? Like volleyball net, the ball for the net, kickball, got the kickball. We ain't gotta worry about the football. But do we have all that stuff
Now,
already?
that I don't know. I know you have certain sisters that are bringing certain games.
Yeah.
I know Officer Keenan had to get another net. We had left it out there. Huh? Oh, I had to check. What is it? 3. It'll be 3 o'clock that we could.
I feel like y'all know we normally meet up. Yeah, I know we normally meet up on Thursday and go out there together. Those that want to get there as early as you possibly can.
That's right.
Yeah, he said the fees is what, 90 for
Singles and 100 for families.
So yeah, Thursday we'll probably meet up. We'll probably meet at the school Thursday or either meet on 20. But last year, a lot of us met up at the school.
Yeah.
And we went on and left and went out there. We wanted to make sure that we had everything, you know what I'm saying, taken care of here to get out there.
That's right.
So I'll probably about 1 or 2 o'clock, we'll probably try to meet up around here, brothers and sisters, if y'all can get out there early. Show of hands, who going out there Thursday?
hey,
Okay, well if y'all can get out there early. If y'all get out there early Thursday, well then we're gonna try to meet up at the school around 1:30, 2 o'clock. So that's what we'll do this year. We'll try to meet up at the school. Except for the sisters and brothers that stay out 20. I think like Sister Genesis, you stay out 20, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, y'all just be ready.
Y'all already know what's the meetup spot? Whataburger.
Whataburger out 20, that's right. So if anybody coming from basically from the east back this way, we'll meet up at the school. And then from the school, we'll go meet up at the Whataburger out 20. That's what we do every year.
Well, Brother Hosea, you have to be more specific, guys. You said, is that why last year y'all said no Bible question because you were trying to enjoy the feast? Yes. So during the feast, like how we read over the etiquette, no questions while brothers is trying to have a good time. Now, if you see a brother that's not, quick little question, but if you see a brother getting his boogie on, that's not the time. Exactly. Standing on the sideline.
and just like this, you see one of the captains, he having them a nice little drink and enjoying themselves. It ain't the time to be asking them to break down no damn 12 feathers right now, man. Right? Come on, man. There's like certain things, like, come on. He done got him. So you ain't never been around nobody that drank nothing. Come on, man. He done had a couple sips, man, today. I just ask him tomorrow. Write down your question. You see an officer, he drinking, ain't right there, man. Right? Come on, man. Let's use some
Like I said,
some spirituality. Any questions concerning the Feast of Tabernacles? Concerning this issue?
Again, I know this is what? Brother Joshua first tabernacle, is that the only one? Everybody else that already had experience tabernacle under their belt before. So I mean, brothers and sisters know how we get down. Y'all know how Benaniyah drank that milk? No. Gotcha. You know, he drank that milk. So we pretty much should know the decorum that we should have, right? So that means that brothers, we should be showing Joshua how to act, right? Remember the scripture said that, man. Right? Our actions should lead up to show him how to act.
No Akis, no curfew. The thing is, your ass just better be up for Sabbath class. That's the point.
For real. What was that? What, about 2 years ago, we was up to like 6, 7 in the morning. And guess what? Brothers was talking about precept that night.
That's right.
But that's what the conversation got to be, right? If that's the conversation, then let that be the conversation. But if it's the party and the kicking the time, well, hey, going on, man.
Because guess what? You be thinking brothers don't be asleep, but then you hear, man, they let the Hebrews in the door. We be like, damn, this nigga still up. Yeah. They let the Hebrews in the door. Yeah. They just ringing that alarm. Little brothers and sisters know you stay your ass in the right spirit.
Yes, it's no curfew out, but hey, you better be up for Sabbath class. What question you had, Ak? Yeah, same time, 11.
11, 12, yeah, we're trying to get it really.
Yes, everybody 11 on my. But shoot, we still have a lot of daytime.
Yeah, I think we're about to try to do class at 11.
Yeah.
We got class about 11, man.
Because
Yeah,
we'll
we
be
can
out
rules.
there, so.
Rules, yeah, they'll be out there. God dang, y'all gonna be out there Thursday.
So.
Boy, y'all have class on Thursday. Y'all better zoom me in that mud.
Yeah, you know we do precepts about a campfire starting out, man. We want to go through those scriptures, man, and make sure that brothers and sisters are staying spiritual. You know, we're gonna have a great time, but we also want to learn as much as we can about the Lord, man. And brothers should be wanting that. You know, brothers should be wanting that, man. Get as much precepts and understanding as you can out of the scriptures, man.
Come on, man. This guy, that's kind of a weird question. I mean, make that question a little more plainer, man. I don't know what you're trying to say, bro. Like,
What you talking about?
this guy.
Oh yeah, hey.
I mean, I went to he got a couple of the waters and stuff through the classes, but I don't know, man. You gotta make that more clear, man.
Yeah, this guy. Any questions, brothers and sisters, concerning tabernacles? Any questions? Make sure that brothers and sisters get their fees. Who have not? Go ahead, sis. Say it again. Yeah. Yeah, the basic sides, like you were saying, like corn, green beans. I know we're trying to get the refrigerator out there so we'll be able to put those things up.
Yeah, mainly things are what we just gotta heat up, right? Maybe throw some seasoning in, like you said, some green beans, some corn, right? Those things you just really can just heat those things up. Yeah, throw some seasoning on and they good. So
I know, like you said, try to have these things in order, get with the sisters, understanding, like you say. Remember that Thursday we'll be out there, we'll be setting up the grill. So that'll take care of itself. So where we eating hamburgers and hot dogs. Then, you know, we got that Friday morning. So when we try to set up breakfast, then set up lunch, or go into hamburgers and hot dogs again before the Sabbath. Then that Sabbath morning, we'll be eating simple stuff, cereal, muffins, things like that.
Right.
And then we'll have a lunch. Then we'll be going into the dinner. Then, like you say, Sunday, I like eating breakfast, but hey, if brothers and sisters too tired, we'll ask to whether or not hey, brothers and sisters get up out of there.
man, that breakfast be on point Sunday.
Yeah, it do.
They get you home, man.
Yeah, that thing do.
You let no bro trying to get home, breakfast will get you there.
We want to make sure that brothers and sisters, help chip in and help clean up. But that thing is heavy. So that will determine that, man, for real. I ain't gonna even lie. So, cause I'm like, I do like breakfast, but hey, we won't shoot brothers and sisters putting in that work to help, not just eating and running. I mean, going on. See, when I see you, gotta go. So, any questions, brothers and sisters? Any questions, brothers and sisters online? Wait up.
tabernacle.
Say it again.
Not about tabernacle.
Yeah, this is tabernacle. Do that tomorrow or something. What you got on?
We gonna come here Tuesday, though, right?
Yeah, we'll be in the building Tuesday. Yeah. Oh, all Tuesdays be here. We'll be here.
My brother Benzo said my tent is in storage.
Can't get it.
I can't get it out. What do I do?
Buy another one. Yeah, you gotta buy another one. Oh, that's brother Yahweh.
Yeah.
You have to buy another one. Just buy another one. I mean, what can we tell you on that? Either try to get up in that storage or just have to buy another one.
I think I might have an extra one at the house too, man. Yeah. I was looking in the garage just there. I see a tent that's not mine. So gotta be somebody else's, man. So I don't know, man. Because we stay late. We stay and clean up and everything, and I always bring stuff home that ain't mine because people leave stuff. I don't know how many chairs I got at the house. I ain't gonna lie to y'all.
Say, bring all them buds.
I am.
Extra chair,
I don't know how many. I'm bringing them chairs. I got about 12 chairs, man.
I'm gonna tell you, I'm glad that I said that. Make sure y'all bring your chairs because y'all need that out there for class. Make sure brothers and sisters try to get some tiki torches because we trying to have it as lit up as possible with citronella oil that helps keep the bugs away. So
It's supposed to be cool at night anyway, so them bugs gonna be shit. So guess what, brothers and sisters, you better bring you some, not just a tent, but you better bring you some extra blankets because it's supposed to be up in the everything low 60s.
What you got, Sister Elaine? Yeah, they should because they lifted the band while we was out there.
Right.
They just did relate a message to everybody. But yeah, they lifted the band, so we'll try to call and check up on that because I want to try to call them and see if they could spray their damn band down. But any questions? Remember, extension cords, surge protectors, and possibly if y'all get some generators. Yeah. But remember we have a long enough hose. Yeah, we can, but she didn't have no long enough hose. Because even the one that Officer Keenan had, it wasn't long enough. I'm calling him. Huh? Yeah, a water hose for the water pressure. So we can wet the captains up again, man. Brother left us out there hanging. No water gun. That's all we had, but we had a powerful one.
Boy, they got our ass real good with that. I can't lie. Just know, sister, now you know your husband gonna get his ass got this shit. Just know that.
You'll see me running up the hill.
Just know that.
Him and his son.
Just know that.
Any other questions before we get up out of here? What you got on?
Y'all checked out the cycle? You see who's going to like mow that grass? That's peak.
That too. You'll never know how they gonna do it. Please, boy. Hey, y'all throw up some prayers, man.
Come, make sure you throw some prayers at the
And if you got a little small mower,
and we're gonna use one of theirs.
yeah, hey, we
Find us with that mug.
for real, man.
Damn bastard.
'Cause, hey, man, if we gotta do it, man. It just knock it out.
We'll do us any kind of.
Also, like you said, you got the tents. If y'all got any lights,
Yeah.
brothers, make sure y'all bring them lights, man. Sisters too, as well. You know you got your ticket to buy your tent, but you want to have your flashlight with you too, because you might want to get up in the middle of the night, walk to the restroom or whatever.
Tent cord.
Right? You want to have your light, man, because I done almost tripped over plenty of tent cords out there. I'm trying to put my tent far off.
Any other questions about tabernacles? Make sure that Bruce, who have not paid their fees, make sure, brothers and sisters, pay your fees. Pay those fees, man. So brothers can start going shopping this week, brothers and sisters.
How much the fees for how much the fees for Michael Carter and Preston, man? They boys their hands. They said they ain't pay their fees. Michael Carter and Preston, y'all gonna bring y'all $20, man.
Oh, hell.
Oh, Lord.
$20, Michael Carter and Preston.
Oh, that money you was flashing this week ago.
With that, hey, we always tell brothers and sisters to keep the laws of the Most High. Let's go to the classic Leviticus chapter 23, verse 34. Get that, read that out.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 34. Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, the 15th day of this 7th month shall be a feast of tabernacles for 7 days unto the Lord. On the first day shall be an holy convocation.
So the first day is a holy convocation, Tuesday night. Read on.
You shall do no servile work therein.
So if brothers and sisters can get that, please get that day off. Read on out.
On the first day shall be a holy convocation, so like you shall do no servile work therein. 7 days you shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord.
So now we giving up spiritual sacrifices. Read on out.
On the 8th day shall be a holy convocation unto you.
So the first and the 8th day are holy convocations, meaning you're commanded to celebrate the Feast of Tabernacles on those specific 2 days. Read on out.
And ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord. It is a solemn assembly.
It is a solemn assembly, exclusive. Read on out.
And ye shall do no servile work therein.
Let's get that last one. Give me Zechariah chapter 66, verse 24. We're going to be doing the same thing. Guess what? In the kingdom, Lord's will, man. Isaiah.
Isaiah, Zechariah. You already know.
So like it.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 66, verse 24. The book of Isaiah, chapter 66, verse 23. And it shall come to pass that from one new moon to another, and from one Sabbath to another, shall flesh come to worship before me, saith the Lord. And they shall go forth and look upon the carcasses of the meat.
I had it right. Tabernacles. No, Zechariah. We committed to keep tabernacles. The Feast of Tabernacles. I was right, man. It threw me off. Book of Zechariah 14 and verse 16. Say it again. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Zechariah.
The book of Zechariah, chapter 14, verse 16. And it shall come to pass that everyone that is left of all the nations which came against Jerusalem shall even go up from year to year to worship the King.
To do what?
To worship the King,
Yahweh shall read on.
the Lord of hosts, and to keep the Feast of Tabernacles.
And to keep the Feast of Tabernacles. So guess what? We're going to make and enforce God's laws, the Feast of Tabernacles on the other nations. Read on, huh?
Verse 17. And it shall be that whoso would not come up of all the families of the earth unto Jerusalem to worship the King, the Lord of hosts, even upon them shall be no rain.
So it's a judgment if the other nations don't keep the tabernacle. So what is the judgment for us? It's going to be even more, man. So these are things that we must consider, man. And with that, we give all honor and praises to the Most High, to His Son, Yahweh Shah. Happy Day of Atonement afterwards. Guess what? Happy going into the Feast of Tabernacles. With that, we say shalom.
Thursday, Tuesday? Yeah, Tuesday night.
Tuesday night.
Are we coming up with 8 days?
Yep. Tuesday night.
Yeah, Tuesday to Tuesday.
Let's go ahead and get the bread and the wine. Let's read right quick.